Hayden Brown in the middle of the ground. Umpire holds the footy aloft. Qualifying final day at the Morwell Rec Reserve. He's underway and Lippman tapped it down. Bowman, though, for the Parrots, got a quick boot to ball. It gets to the top of the 50. Hopkins is the one to lead the chase. Spills out there to Marriott. He gave a handball to Hopkins. He chips it over the top. And marking nicely is Maskell. Well, that was a good start. The Leongatha Parrots ran forward. Maskell's going to pass it off. And couldn't be marked there by Nagel. He gets ball to boot, though. Kicks it inside out. Check side. And if you don't mind, he dropped the mark, he recovered well, and he put it through. Leongatha's got the first inside 30 seconds.
There's that man, Nick Nagel. I spoke highly of him last time, and I'm speaking highly of him again today. He's off the mark already, and there's nothing like confidence when you're getting that first touch as your first goal. His matchup there is with Hurley of Sale already, so that'll be an interesting matchup too, but a great snap there by Nagel.
Spot on the 30-second mark, Darryl, for that first goal of the match. Nick Nail, 1 goal straight, 6 Leongatha on the Harvey Norman Computers scoreboard. Sale yet to score.
So Leongatha's 6 forwards playing in a straight line from centre-half forward straight down to goal, so they can lead left and right. Willis goes straight down the centre, kicks to the top of the square. Who's going to be the option there? Free kick paid. It's going to go Leongatha's way. Is it? Advantage is played, and if you don't mind, 2 goals inside a minute. This time, Joshy Hopkins.
I missed the free kick. I don't know what it was there for, but Hopkins, so it was in the back there. Thanks, Scud. But great spot there by Hopkins. But what happened was all the Sale players stopped and gave the Hopkins, took the opportunity. Umpires paid the advantage and ran into an easy open goal.
So 1 minute and 21 seconds was when that second goal went through. So it's 2 straight 12 Leongatha. Sale yet to score. Harvey Norman Computers. And I think they're shell-shocked at the moment.
Well, Willis just grabbed that out of the ruck, so Lippman will have to compete in this particular one. They've got to get their hands on the footy in the middle of the ground.
He'll go body.
So Lippman again, and Willis gets high, tapped it down. Geordie Descent tapped it out to some open space. Off that wing area there was Leongatha coming in. It looks to be just getting up off the bottom of the pack. It is Brock Davidson, and the umpire will do it again. This time Lippman got it down, but Marriott was at the back, squeezed it back to Sandbrook, took on one tackler. McLaren did well. Now Descent gave a handball to Fife. He just fumbled it. Has to go again, does Fife. Good work.
Free kick.
Won himself the free kick. Outside 50 is the coach in Fife. The 5-time Sale Best and Fairer winner, Shane Fife. You think he's too far out to score, but the slow play from the football coming back to him. He handballed on quickly to McLaren. His kick was partially smothered, and it's going to ricochet back the other way. Sandbrook runs through the middle of the ground at the Morwell Rec Reserve. 1-on-1 inside forward 50. Lloyd and Thacker. Thacker does well. Taps it down to himself nicely. And working hard there, Thacker gets a teammate to come back and help. Now he gets into Collins' hands. He kicks it out, and he's looking for Leslie, who can't mark but can find the boundary. And we'll have a boundary throw in 60 metres out.
There's that transition footy from Leongatha. They just knew where to place those handballs through the middle. He just lobbed it in the air, Sandbrook, and away they went. And had a one-on-one there with Lloyd. But great work there by Thacker.
Early minutes, but they look a bit tentative, the Magpies. Leongatha playing with confidence. They've been here many times before. Willis gets the tap down. Can he find a teammate? Well, at the end of it, he's going to be Hayden Brown, who kicks inside forward 50.
Lloyd
Does it well. Big jump by Lloyd. Cleared, though, momentarily. It's 70 metres from Leongatha's goals, and the mark's been taken. A nice mark at 2 it was by Stone. He went searching again inside forward 50. Couldn't find a teammate. Sale will run it out through Martin, left leg, 50 metres in front of our TRFM commentary position. A punch from behind. Good spoil too it was by Josh Schelling, and he finds the boundary line.
Probably one of those matchups, so I got a little bit wrong, but Scullion's gone to Gooch, so we spoke about it pre-game. It's a really good matchup, that one.
Leongatha lead by 12 points. Ball back into play. Working hard at ground level. Here's Olden. Gave it to Willis, who got boot to ball. Top of the 50 it goes. Over Nagel's head. Williams. Free kick. No, Nagel caught one high, so another free kick for Leongatha.
There, just a little bit sloppy there with his defence there.
Hopkins is on short. They've got some in the pocket as well. And they go towards Maskell. How can he be on his own? Surely. Poor defending from Sale. And Maskell, 40 metres out on a very tough angle. No breeze to speak of, kicking to the city end of the ground. Will look to get Leongatha's 3rd straight goal.
Sid Laverty had both to go to, Maskell and Chrissy Dunn, so he took Chrissy Dunn deep, and Maskell found himself on his own.
So no breeze. He's telling the water boy, the umpire, just told him to get off the field. As Cade Maskell's about to have his shot, they got out of the blocks early. 1 minute 20, they got 2 goals. Maskell comes in at the 5-minute mark, puts it on its way. Left foot coming back, not enough. That's a minor score. And that's on your Harvey Norman's Computers Gippsland scoreboard on this Saturday afternoon.
2-1-13, Leongatha from their 6 inside 50s against Sales 0 at this stage.
So Chris Laverty brings the ball in towards the outer side, nicely done, and he finds his teammate in Williams, who in turn goes to the big man, Lippman, who gets his first clear possession. It's a 50-50 one, but he finds a teammate, and he's good enough to bounce around his Declan Barnett. Goes towards the outer side, Martin inside
nice
forward 50. Nice transitional play, Jordan Descent. He plays on top of the square. Here we go, walk one in, or the ball called back. No, 50-metre penalty. So the certain goal by Jordan Descent probably shouldn't make any difference, because the player with the ball right now is going to be Jordan Descent, is it? At the top of the square?
Yep.
So Jordan Descent. I thought Gooch might get a chance, but Descent will keep it, kick it straight through. They're on the board. They've got the one they needed, because Leongatha were out of the blocks in pretty impressive fashion. Boxer?
They were too there, and one thing I've noticed there too with Fife, he's playing that little bit more forward for Sale today there too. He's been involved at both their entries inside 50. That one there resulted in a goal.
Very quick start. We've only played 6 minutes, and it's 3 goals on the board between the two teams. Sale now 1 goal straight, 6 to Leongatha 2-1-13. Harvey Norman Computers scoreboard.
Boxer, things have settled down. You liking things, liking the matchups that Sale have got?
Yeah, and Leverty's gone too. We didn't mention Leverty as well. He's gone to Chrissy Dunn of Leongatha as well.
So Lippman again in the middle. Marriott tried to swoop on it, just overran it slightly. Then Bowman tried to help him out. Geordie Descent, Marriott goes back again. Gave it to Olden. He's kicked to the 50 and couldn't find Ganania. Put a good tackle on Sweeney though. And we'll have the umpire said play on. Quick kick by Cameron Stone, goes into the pocket. Hopkins can mark it his chest, turn around and play on. He does the banana and puts it through. Joshy Hopkins, he is an exciting player, and he's got 2 in this first quarter.
Geez, Scott, I was nearly going to be one of those ones where he's run in. He played on really well. He's got pace to burn, Hopkins. But he did have Lloyd there that was over the top. He went that check side. He got the goal. Well, good reward there too. And again, started from the middle there with Marriott. Quick hands out. They like to move the ball real quickly, Leongatha.
13-point lead to Leongatha at the 7-minute mark of the first quarter. Harvey Norman Computers scoreboard. Leongatha 3-1-19. Sale 1 goal straight, 6.
Leongatha winning the centre breaks at the moment. I think all 3 goals from centre breaks, and good hard hit too, and it came from Descent. And the ball spills inside forward 50. On the end of it now is Gooch. He's on his left side, so gives it back to Fife. He threads it over the top. It was neat. It was cute, and it found Kane Martin, who with that left leg can put through the Magpie's second, but he'll need to kick from outside 50, Scud.
Shane Fife nearly kicked that one backwards. It was that good.
So Martin now, right on 50, left leg, got the distance. Has it got the accuracy? Yeah. No. A minor score.
It's now 1 goal, 1-7 to Sale, and they are training Leongatha by 2 straight kicks, 3-1-19.
Well, they waste no time. They got it in towards Borshman, who marked in the back pocket area. Goes a dangerous kick, and getting up high as McLaren takes an absolute beauty over the top of Olden. And Jack McLaren, one of the star youngsters of the competition. Oh, it's a wobbly looking one. It might just come off, does it? No. Out of bounds on the full. Freeman tried to get there in desperate attempt. So at the 8.5-minute mark, Leongatha are 3-1-19, Sale 1-1-7. And the kick went inboard. Found a teammate there.
Risky kick.
Sovereign, he went across the goal.
Out the full touch, the goal umpire says lucky. There was only inches in that, Scud, sorry, but that change of direction was high risk, and it nearly cost them dearly.
Well, Sovereign was the kicker. He was looking for Westaway. So we've got a boundary throw in after all that. Inside Sales forward 50. Gooch will do it up against Kelly, and it drops short. Sandbrook was there, good hands to Marriott. And then to the run of Sovereign. How's this kick? Oh, it's a shocker too. Fife's going to pick this one off. Handball's over the top where Martin tries to run onto it. Can't quite gather it. Comes off his toe. Goes towards the boundary, eventually over. And we have a boundary throw in. 12-point the margin, 9.5 minutes, first quarter.
I think I'd like to see Lippman contesting the ruck work even deep in forward, because he's playing that kick behind, almost giving up the chance to go forward as Martin goes forward now.
Got a free kick.
Yeah, he'll kick from 60 metres out. You reckon he'd kick it to the top of the square, and that's what he does, or does he? He's got a couple of options there. Gooch was in the front. He needs someone at the front of the pack, but it's all the Parrots at the moment. Good pressure. Wait on. Free kick.
Yep.
Paid. And it paid to our man Brown behind the play. I'd like to get the free kick count in just a few moments as Leongatha come grandstand side. 50-50 contest. Leongatha have been winning these. Not on this occasion. Umpire says we'll call it evens.
2 each free kicks.
Okay.
They've just lifted that tempo a little bit now, Sale. They were a little bit rattled there early, and they've just gone a bit more one-on-one now, so it's good to see that they've increased the pressure.
Well, they'll need to keep this up for 4 quarters. Look at him go. McLaren again. Right foot delivery. Oh, Baboon's going to pick it off just. And going back nicely, Baboon. He comes in board and found Cooper. Still in defensive 50. Chips it over the top. Turnover. It's going to go back the other way. Bowen gave it off to Williams. Left foot shot going across the face. Baboon runs back. So does Brown. They raffle it. Brown takes the mark right up hard against the point post.
I like the pressure the Magpies box were starting to put on them as they bring the ball out of defensive 50 or try to. They go short on this occasion through Baboon. Left back pocket. The Magpies kicking the highway end or the right of radio here at Morwell Recreation Reserve. In he goes to Sovereign. Goes towards the outer side. High risk kick again. Tell you what, good pressure. Umpire says play on. The mid-air kick, and you know what? He says one bitten, twice shy. I might have missed the first, but I'm not going to miss the second.
I think that was payback. I think you missed that first one quite clearly.
Yeah. So a free kick goes to Sale, and they've got the chance, all of a sudden, to get themselves back within just the one kick after the Parrots had most of the play.
So you can see, though, they've really closed the game into Sale because Leongatha like to get that chip game going and then run really cleanly. Just that closeness enough to the play on the transition.
Sale have had the last 5 inside 50s after being down 7-1 at one stage.
So Reece Carter with a shot on goal, and he makes no mistake, and as Poppy said, the margin's back to 6 points.
Well, there you go. Reece Carter forward. You know, Scud spoke about it pre-game in regards to trying that little bit something different. We know we can play both ends of the ground too, so a great start there to Reece Carter to get Sale second.
Taking Sale to 2-1-13 on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. Leongatha leading by that one goal, 3-1-19, 12 minutes played first quarter.
Are we following Jack McLaren with his stats?
Yes, I am.
Absolute gun, I think, for the future.
3 kicks, a mark, a clearance, and 2 inside 50s.
So Jackson Harry goes into the ruck. Sorry, Scott again, as that McLaren gets the resultant tap from Lippman to Martin, who handballs to Fife, and they've got the chance, have they? Good. Quick hands to Gooch, runs around in the arc, kicks for goal from 45. Don't tell me scores are locked away.
Yes, they are. Wow.
Well, there you go. It's at both ends of the ground. You've got Nick Nagel at one end. You've got Gooch at the other. He's been involved in a fair bit of the play inside 50. But he turned then on a threepence. Did I get that one right?
Yeah. Today a 5-cent piece.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Or an app.
But he's turned around. It was the top of the arc as well. One step, long bomb goal.
3-1-19 apiece. 13 minutes played. 6 goals scored. An amazing game already. And that is on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard.
Well, we all grow and learn, and Boxer's vocabulary is growing week by week in the Gippsland Live commentary team. Back to the middle, Harry tapped it down to Marriott, quickly tackled. Coming in off there was nicely done from Sale as Glenane. Goes across towards the boundary line by Boot in the Fife direction. He started busy early, and he's forward as well, which is another surprise. Left foot kick. No, he ran out of real estate. And we'll have a boundary.
The selection was interesting with Fife. He's played himself on the wing.
Yep. Well, he's playing on Sunbrook as well, so he's prepared to actually lag off him as well. They both play a little bit of a similar game, don't they?
And I think when Leongatha like to switch it out of that back half, he's the one that becomes that natural defender. I like the move. Douse now wins it. Got a tackle by the wing and can't get rid of the football, but he had no prior. And we'll have a ball up. About 70 metres out now from Sale's goal. They've really steadied after Leongatha got off to a fly, kicked 2 goals within the first minute and a half, and now the scores are all locked up. Harry got high, got a hand on it. Skelling tried to crash his way through. Brown eventually got a handball out. The running there was Borshman. Didn't take possession first of all, then gave it to the run of Bowman. He barrels one inside forward 50, lands at the toes of Lloyd. Yeah. Great work by Ganane to tap it over. Josh Hopkins is going to have 3 goals in the first quarter for the Parrots. Well, that is electrifying.
You know, when you're a good small forward, just know where to be. Great assist there too by Ganane. One of the big things about Sale inside 50, they like to share the ball around and give it to the player who's best in advantage to kick a goal for the side. They love to share. Great spot there by Hopkins. Again, like you said, 3rd goal for the quarter.
And that it takes Leongatha back into a 1-goal lead on the Harvey Norman Computers scoreboard, 4-1-25 to Sale 3-1-19. We've only played 14 minutes into the first quarter.
Well, with Willis having a break from the ruck duties, although he comes into play now because...
The footy's gone into the croquet club.
Yeah, and it's going to be Willis.
Life member there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yep, he is, yeah, and part of the board. Willis will contest the ruck for Leongatha, and he'll be up against Gooch. So the ball will be thrown up now. Gooch will do the ruck duties, flies high. I reckon even money, but McLaren ducks his head, gets another touch, been impressive. Just his kicking's let him down on a couple of occasions. Dropping the ball by Gooch will go Leongatha's way, and taking the kick will be Olden, who comes grandstand side. Nicely done to Davidson. In front of our TRFM commentary position, grandstand wing side of Morwell Recreation Reserve finds a teammate in Kelly. Left half forward flank. Options, he chooses one. It's a risky one, deep left-hand pocket, going inside forward 50, but beaten to the boundary. And one of the few times he's been beaten by anyone today is Josh Hopkins.
I like the bench must have been listened to at Sale there too, Poppy. Gooch goes into the ruck to give Lippman that little bit of a rest, but Lippman goes forward. So that's what I want to see as well.
So Gooch tapped it down. Marriott swooped on it though. Underground handball to Bowman. Tried one, don't argue. Then just got boot to ball. Good work by Gooch. McLaren again. Well, he just blazed away to a dangerous spot. It's 1-on-2, and the one does really well in McLinden, and he slows things up. He'll cause the stoppage. Great work by the youngster McLinden.
Fantastic work there. He was outnumbered, outsized as well, and got the ball to ground, won that stoppage.
So Willis now against Gooch again. Willis got the tap forward. Guess what? McLaren another touch. Right half back flank. Kicks towards centre wing. Magpies with the numbers, but they're beaten to the ball on this occasion. A quick handball in traffic, Sovereign. I tell you what, there's some good pressure dropping the ball against the Parrots. The pressure's high.
Yep.
And the Magpies have got the opportunity to go forward. We've played just on 16 3/4 minutes first quarter. It's the Parrots by a goal, but Magpies with the ball and about to go forward.
So Jack Lenane looks up, has a presenting option in Carter. It's a bit of a kick to his wrong side, and Borschmann was able to mark it. The umpire said play on. Olden went in there. Now Carter goes in again at ground level, and Olden tackles him around the shoulder at ground level again. The umpire said we'll ball it up. 17 minutes gone. A 6-point margin in favour of Leongatha. High scoring affair early in this game. Willis tapped it over his head. Good work by Marriott. Gave it to Borschmann. Just got boot to ball. Coming to meet it there is Ganane. Nicely done there by Bowen. He got it out, but pecked off by Marriott. His tumbling punt just missed Thacker. He ends up getting on the end of it. His kick was smothered. He's under pressure. He gives it to Hurley. They're under all sorts of the Sale defenders. There's one high. And they can slow things up now. Dyer will be the one to take the free kick as Bowman got him high.
Some great pressure there by the the Leongatha forwards then, just to keep the ball just inside their area.
So Ethan Dyer, right half back flank along the line. Who's his target? It was Gooch, goes out the back. It's all the Parrots. Cameron Stone ducks one, goes searching for Marriott, who has to tap it to advantage of his teammate there in Cooper. Left half forward flank, nicely taken. Good mark it was by Dyer again. And from the position he was just a moment ago, rather than go long, he goes short. I reckon he wished he went long. He's now under pressure because the Parrots are starting to close, and they're going to be held up, though. Just as they were starting to flock on the left half-forward flank, they were stopped in their tracks as Dyer desperately tried to make good from a bad mistake. So the Parrots now, left half-forward flank.
Yeah, and that's the key. Once you make a mistake, you've got to quickly move on, and it's exactly what Dyer did. The ball goes inside forward 50 again for Leongatha. Maskell on the boundary line, left foot shot! Oh, if you don't mind, in front of the social rooms at the Morwell Rec Reserve, and Cade Maskell's kicked a left foot beauty.
Scott, I was just sitting there thinking before, Maskell's been a little bit quiet compared to what we expect from him week in, week out, and then he just goes out and presents that. It's a pity our listeners didn't get to see exactly what we wanted to see, but what a beautiful left foot goal. The wrong side for a left footer too, and did a great goal there.
Taking Leongatha to 5-1-31 after 19 minutes on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard. They've got a 2-goal break over Sale with 3-1-19.
Just a quick around the grounds too. Thanks for Harvey Norman Furniture in the East Gippsland Football League quarter time, and it is Lindenau 3-1-19. They lead Boysdale 2-1-13.
Well, Sale's turn. Dowse kicked it off the ground. Of course, this is Mitch. Nick's not playing today. Mitch goes again. Inside 50 it is. Leongatha sit on it. And we'll have another ball up, 45 metres out now from Sale's goal. It's really back and forth, isn't it? And both sides look dangerous when they're going forward.
Yeah, they do. They do. The pressure's been good. It's sort of ebbed and flowed somewhat as this contest has as well. I reckon it was Willis that got the tap, but it was hard to pick. McLaren gets another touch. He's been one of the busier players, but a quick kick forward inside forward 50. He's marked by Brown, and off they go again. They do it, and they go forward through Hayden Brand towards that right half forward flank. Maskell got a goal a moment ago. Now he gets another touch, and the run is on, and it's now Hopkins who's been the best man on ground with 3 goals. Can you believe that? Top of the square, and he's found Cameron Stone. It's a good passage of play by the reigning premiers Leongatha, and the easiest of goals you'll think for a player of this ability, Cameron Stone.
Boys, James Sweeney's on the far side, still down. I did see him come off, and he got a knee strapped and possibly an ankle, and looks to have gone over on that again in that contest a couple of moments ago.
So Cameron Stone straight in front, kick for goal, off they go. The margins just snuck out now to a couple of goals, and the pressure is now on. In fact, it's a few goals as the Parrots lift that bar once more. The pressure back on Sale.
It's a 3-goal margin at the 21-minute mark of the first quarter. Sale 3-1-19, trailing Leongatha 6-1-37. Harvey Norman Computers scoreboard.
One thing we did miss before too, Hayden Brown come off with the blood rule, so he's been strapped heavily there in the head region. And
because of that goal, Boxer, Sweeney's had to go all the way around. Yeah. He's walking. He's had to go through the forward line, so they've rolled one back to cover for him just while they tried to get him off. But he's walking now at centre half back. So Sale are pretty much one short at the moment in their forward half. Sandbrook doesn't really need to go to him, and he now realises he's coming to the bench, but runs away as Bowman got boot to ball from the stoppage. Maskell marks, too far out to score, swings around, thumps it left foot, 60 metres. It's going. It's not going to make the distance. Lloyd was at the back. Oh, it fell in a dangerous spot. Jackson Glenane for Sale rushed it through.
6-2-38. They are double the Sale score of 3-1-19.
So Laverty goes short. Nicely done. Finds a teammate. That teammate is Zach Early. That Scud likes to call affectionately as Liz. That's a story for another time. As Leongatha on the turnover goes short, they find Maskell again, is it? I reckon.
Yep.
And he's got the chance to bring up his second. Just moments after Boxer thought, where is he? Well, he's popped up and said, Boxer, here I am, pal. I'll kick one. He'll kick this again. He's a good kick for goal.
He's an absolute jet of a kick.
Sweeney's just made his way to the bench just now, and he has looked despondent, and wouldn't be surprised if that could be it.
Well, Maskell, in the early part of this game, although it's late in the first quarter,
big moments for Monticello's,
will attempt to kick his second, and he sides 7th in the first 30 minutes. Off the boot, looks nice as it faded across the front. It has. It hit the left upright, and guess what? Bounced over and hit the right upright as well, but it only counts for 1 point.
It's a 20-point lead to Leongatha, 6-3-39 to Sale 3-1-19. Harvey Norman Computers scoreboard.
So this will be interesting now for Sale. Do they now roll Reece Carter back to cover for Sweeney? So they want to hold their structure as long as possible, or is it Fife is the one that goes back? Boxer will get you to keep an eye on that one. Fife's currently on the bench. Carter's up here on the wing, and Sale have the football at the moment in their defensive 50. It is through Glenane. His kick, though, was smothered. It's going to allow him to come in. Olden gave it across to Davidson, and Davidson slams another. And if you don't mind, Leongatha have got 7 goals in the first quarter, and we've only gone 23 minutes.
It's that second thinking, third thinking when you're a backman, what you want to do, and you just get picked off every time that happens. And his kick was sloppy, one-step kick. He was unsure what to do. Leongatha have been incredible inside with their pressure. That was a great smother and a great goal.
We now have a 26-point lead to Leongatha, who have kicked the last 4 goals. They are 7-3-45, leading Sale 3-1-19. Harvey Norman Computers scoreboard.
So Willis v. Lippman back in the centre of the Morwell Recreation Reserve. Here's a contest, and I reckon Lippman may have had the edge. It went Sale's way, but only just for a second, as most of this first quarter has been. It's Leongatha. Strong tackle, and it was a tackle on Dowse. He knows he's in a final, that's for sure. So to this bloke, he runs hard and straight, and I speak of Jack Glenane, who lays some good pressure on it, but it was high pressure, and on the half-back line, it is Sale that will get the free kick, and they'll do it through Bowen.
Goes to Collins, inboard now to Leslie. His scrubbing kick, and might work out. Got to the wing area. No, this is now Leslie who's had it. Swings around on that right boot. inside forward 50. Freeman in the front spot. Over the bat is Barnett. He goes with the right foot. He didn't have the left. It might work out, though. Dowse took on the tackler. Handballed across now. This is ducking underneath it. And if you don't mind, I think it's Williams or Barnett has got the goal for the Magpies. It is Barnett that will be the goal scorer.
She's made hard work of that box.
Yeah, look, and what it's done too, Baboon's hurt himself for Leongatha, so we hope that he's okay. But 2 Leongatha players went both at the same time, so just that awareness around the ball. And the Sale boys just stayed down and waited for them to make the mistake. They did work hard for that goal, but it's a much needed goal for Sale.
It's amazing. 11 goals kicked this quarter. We still haven't finished. It's 7-3-45 Leongatha to Sale 4-1-25. Harvey Norman Computer scoreboard.
Willis v Littman. Willis gets a good, healthy hand on that one, but it doesn't go as far as he wants. But guess what? It bounced off the hands of 5, landed in Willis's mitts, and he kicks it inside forward 50. Maskell's got plenty of time to go short, and he finds his teammate in James Lloyd.
He's a good kick.
He's a massive kicker. He can have a shot from here. He's right on the 50 line, so he'll have to kick 55, you think, Scud?
Yeah, does have a little bit of a knee concern as well. He hasn't played too many senior games because of that. An interrupted season in 29, but he's a star.
So here he goes. He, from outside 50 off the boot, I tell you what, it looks okay. Just pulls it to the left, and I reckon got a bit of hand on it as well as Leongatha boxer with a player going to the bench.
Yeah, it looks like it's Chris Baboon's gone off. I reckon they've clashed knees. I just had a look at his knee. It was favouring that side of his body, so we hope everything's all right there.
Well, 21-point margin now in favour of Sale, but in favour of Leongatha. Sale go forward, but they cough the footy up on the wing area on the far side, and the chain of handballs lands in Sandbrook's hand, goes to Hopkins, 55 metres from home. He turns around, looks for a presenting option. Dunn was one. He goes lateral. It might not come off because Geordie Descent picked it off for the Magpies. Have they got some space? They do. Gooch is on. Skelly got a fingertip to it. He goes to ground. Gooch, contest coming up. Great work by Gooch. Puts it in. 1-on-1. Freeman gets the front spot in front of Sovereign. Good spoil by the defender of Sovereign from the Parrots, but allowed Freeman to run on it. Swing around. Right foot shot at goal and misses.
Oh, you've got to kick those.
You've got to make them. You've got to make. He did all the good work.
Yep.
And it just slid off the side of the boot.
4-2-26 Sale, trailing by 20 points. Leongatha 7-4-46.
Scud, 5 has gone back. He has gone back.
So he's the one, yep.
So Leongatha now try to work their way through their defensive 50. Kelly's on the edge of the third possession. He'll come grandstand side where he's got a couple of options, one of which is shelling.
Yeah.
A long sleeve shelling, goes short, risky kick. No, good enough. Found his teammate there in Bowman. So Bowman, well, he's got a couple of options here, the shortest of which is Nagel. So
good kick.
Nagel now finds his teammate again in Marriott. Plays Willis on quickly. He's got Willis on the break, who'll mark at centre half forward. He'll want to play on, and he does play on. 1-on-1 contest. Hopkins has got the set. No, but he gets a second goal at it, and he...
Yep.
Don't tell me.
Yep.
Has he?
Yep.
Yes. He did.
Yes.
4 goals.
Great work.
Opportunist goals.
What about the kick from Marriott?
Marriott's kick was incredible. Willis on the run too. He outsized every Sale player that was nearly around him, but had great awareness. He knew to get the ball inside quickly. Hopkins just stood his ground again and won the ball, and it was a great goal there. What a goal fest we've got at the moment.
12 goals kicked in the quarter. 8-4-52 Leongatha to Sale 4-2-26 Harvey Norman Computer scoreboard, and I'm going to look up my record books in a minute.
I reckon you're just about spot on too, Paul. This would have to be the highest scoring first quarter. You're talking qualifying final or maybe...
A qualifying final.
Maybe ever. As the siren sounds right on 28 minutes and 42 seconds. What an entertaining first quarter it was. Leongatha and Sale are dishing up an offensive juggernaut.
Just to get the extra bit of oxygen as well, and they've lost Jamie Sweeney for the afternoon too.
Yeah, and Baboon's back out there for Leongatha, so Pfeiffer retains that wing position, but it was Leongatha winning it from the middle through Bowman, who barrels one inside forward 50. Back with the flight there was Elizabeth Hurley, and he couldn't take the mark, sorry. Hurley goes again, tries to win it. It was picked off though by Harry. Somehow got the ball to Nagel. He snaps it around.
Wow.
And I'll tell you what, we're at 22 seconds, and Nick Nagel's done it again.
There it is again.
I feel did you ever get
Groundhog
a sense
Day?
of over?
No, Groundhog Day. We'll call it Groundhog Day, Poppy, because he's done it again. Perfect spot. It was perfect view for us here from the commentary box too. Great snap over his right shoulder. Another blistering start there by Leongatha.
And on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard, as Darryl said, 22 seconds, and it's a 32-point lead to Leongatha, 9-4-58 to Sale 4-2-26.
And I've got to tell you what, Sale haven't been bad, but Leongatha have pulled out some of their best, as you heard from the record books after a good first quarter. Lippman gets a tap. Can he find a teammate? He can, but that teammate's been found by a number of parrots who have jumped on that like a bit of birdseed and gone boom.
Well,
the umpire will ball this up, Boxer.
Sorry, probably some big news for the Leongatha, out of the Leongatha camp. Chris Maverne, who started on the ground this quarter, has come off now too, so it looks like that injury is a lot more serious than what it was.
Martin came through, handballed it over to Dowse. Dowse gives some ground and he finds Gooch. Gooch right half forward flank. They've got some room to wiggle. Nicely done. Oh, dropping the mark, but maybe pushed in the back. Gee whiz, lucky Reece Carter, because he got hands to it and the hands were a bit soft. It went through, but almost feeling as though he was going to take the mark. The pressure was applied by the Leongatha defender, and that player being at Westaway, and he infringed on Carter, pushed him in the back, and now Carter, who's kicked one in the first quarter, will have the opportunity from 30 metres out on a 45-degree angle to put his second on the board and off the boot, boys and girls. Oh, I thought it looked okay.
It did.
But it hit the right upright, so a minor score.
Sale 4-3-27 with that poster on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard. Leongatha 9-4-58, 2-minute mark, second quarter.
Around the grounds, quick check for Harvey Norman Furniture Stores. His box up.
Yeah, North Gippsland Football League, Churchill 4-2-26, they trail Yarram 6-3-39, and in the prelim final in Mid-Gippy, 2-1 apiece.
Danger, there's a turnover. Luke Williams will snap it around the body and put it through. That's what you want. Forward 50, pressure resulting in goals. Luke Williams gets his first.
Yeah, we've seen both sides do it as well, and incredibly, I like to see how players have taken the confidence to actually snap a goal the way they have. And that time he was under pressure, and it was a great goal. That pressure act that Scud just spoke about got that goal resulting for Sale.
Margin now 25 points, 2-minute mark, second quarter. It's Sale 5-3-33, trailing Leongatha 9-4-58 on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard.
I don't know when we've seen 30 goals in a game, but we're ahead of that curve at the moment. I know Leongatha kicked most of 30 a few weeks ago against Moe, but they haven't shrugged Sale off yet, so stay with us. The game's still well and truly on, let me tell you that, as Leongatha will go forward. Bowman handballs, a quick handball it was too to Marriott, a kick inside forward 50, free kick. It went against Nick Nagel, who's been busy, and it goes the way of Ethan Dyer. He went looking for Martin. Martin perceived pressure, meant he dropped the mark, and now there's pressure on the team as a quick kick forward. In fact, he had an area. Can't believe that. Sovereign. It looked like he was drinking Sauvignon Blanc. He missed the ball, and now Five has the ball from right half forward flank. Can he find a teammate? He went searching for Gooch. The kick wasn't great, but the pressure was magnificent, as you heard Scud say, and Willis comes in to lend a hand, and now the Parrots will burst through their defensive 50.
Yeah, Davidson got it to the wing where Harry took a strong contested mark in front of bound. And Harry now just has to slow things up for Leongatha. Comes inboard. Here's Chrissy Dunn. One of the first times we've called his name this afternoon. Goes inboard again. It's a dangerous kick. Sale, can they win it right in the middle of the ground? They do. Geordie Desson had it. Gave it to Freeman. He goes to the top of the 50. Carter, no, Scallingwood's in the front spot. Willis roves and then gave it off to Westaway. He's under all sorts of pressure. Sale forwards, dive on the football, and somehow it just bobbles out. They're looking for the free kick. The umpire lets it go. Eventually, he finds a free kick, and it's going Leongatha's way.
Not happy with that, Box?
No, I'm not. And the thing was, too, the reward never came. But for Freeman, he took off from his player inside 50 to intercept that mark in the middle of the ground. Great signs there for Sale. I can feel something happening here.
Well, Westaway, centre-half back area. 5 minutes, comes towards the grandstand side. Stones the target and does nicely. Takes the mark and pushes back.
So Stone from right half back flank. He's going to kick to in front of our 5RPA, our TR commentary position. 5RPH is the station I worked for in Adelaide many years ago. So talking about deja vu, I just had a flashback myself. The Parrots to a right half forward flank, and the kick was poor. In fact, that kick came from Olden, and it will go out of play on the full. The free kick to Sale, and that free kick will be taken by Mitch Dowse.
So he has a look, chips it over the top. Dangerous, poor kick. Nagel picks it off. He's got Lloyd one-on-one if he goes quick. No, Sale get numbers back. It's only Martin back there, so a bit of a mismatch. They go to the pocket now to him. Now is able Hurley to get there, and Thacker as well came in to put a good spoil on. And they wrap up the Leongatha forwards for a ball up just inside the field of play.
Just noticed with a few players today too, when Reece Carter was one, we had Kane Martin just taking that ball not at full elevation, just trying to be real soft hands. They've just got to make sure they nail those marks.
Lippman in the front spot, put it straight down Dessen's throat, kicks around the body, looks for touch, finds it, beautifully done.
Nice kick.
And the veteran finds it and gets a boundary throw in 80 metres away now from Leongatha's goal. 6 minutes in, we've got a great game. 25 points as a margin. We've had 14 goals kicked, if you don't mind. And a great game of football. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday afternoon. It's qualifying final day in the TRFM Gippsland League.
So Lippman has the ball, took it out of the ruck. He was taking ball and all, so the umpire will assume control. The boundary throw in was a little bit thin. That happens. The young bloke there working the boundary line. Big day for him too. As Martin fights hard, he cops a knock, but he goes in hard as he does. And he goes in boots, feet, and he threw the head in as well for good measure. But Leongatha come up with the ball, and they do it through Marriott. Kick to advantage. Oh. Nice leg, good take. Good footy all round as Chris Dunn grabs one of his rare possessions of the afternoon. But it's an important one, Boxer.
Yeah, it was a little bit sloppy there by Sale. I don't know how you let players like Sambrook off the leash a little bit, his quarterback, and then, but Tommy Marriott was on his own at the top of the 50, on his own. It was a little chip kick in, smart kick on the fat side there for Chrissy Dunn.
It's work rate.
It's absolute work rate. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's none
but it's
better
player awareness. But you got to play. You got to have awareness of your player.
It's none better work rate than Tommy Marriott.
Absolutely.
Though.
So they're looking for their 10th goal inside the 10-minute mark of the second quarter. Can you believe that? Off the boot, Dunn, and he gets it too. Woohoo! 10 goals for Leongatha. Inside 37 minutes, boys and girls. We're seeing a goal fest, that's for sure.
10-4-64 is the Leongatha score at the 7-minute mark of the second quarter. They have a 31-point lead over Sale, 5-3-33 on the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard.
Sale can't win this type of game, Boxer.
They can't.
Not a shootout like
the can't have a shootout. They've got to lock it down now. I think they've got the last two there, Leongatha. Is that right, Scud?
Yeah,
no, 1 for 1.
They've got two this quarter.
So 2 this quarter, but it's that stage now there where they've got to go 1-on-1 they have in the middle.
So Willis got up high, but Lippman got a hand on it and then went and roved his own footy. He handballed out wide. McLaren just overran it. Bowman's been busy. He kicks it forward from the handball of Borshman. Oh. Nagel put one hand out, then tapped it out to Maskell. He's looking, he's searching. He gets back on the left foot, comes to the near side, and Josh Hopkins has taken another one. He's causing a handful for Laverty this afternoon. And Hopkins is marked at 44 metres out from goal. He'll have to kick this probably 49.5 metres.
49.5.
Yep, he's got 4. It'll be just inside the 50. He's on the scoreboard side, the grandstand side, kicking towards the Hazelwood Power Station into the ground. From 45, it hasn't got the distance. Lands on the goal line. No one goes up. And taking the mark, it has. And the last line down there looks to be Harry. And he plays on quickly, hits the upright. So it just needed to... No, the umpire said I hadn't called time on. You're going to get another chance. Yep. Oh, what? Exactly right. Through the effects mic. And the time on wasn't called. Fife saying, I can't believe it. Now we call time on. Now he runs around. And this time, well, there's your big moment of the game because it's gone straight through the middle. He had a sider, didn't he?
They hurt because you think you've got that stoppage back. It's back in my hands. The Sale camp will be saying, what the hell happened then? But Harry, he was given a second chance then too because he played on pretty quickly and he got that second chance as well. And that goal fest continues. It
is a 37-point lead to Leongatha, 9 minutes into the second quarter. They have 11-4-70 on the board, up against Sale's 5-3-33, Greenham Gippsland scoreboard.
So just repeating that 2 injury concerns. Leongatha has Chris Verboon, a defender, and Sale has Jamie Sweeney, a defender as well.
So Lippman v Willis back in the centre of Morwell Recreation Reserve. Nicely done, Lippman. One of the clear taps found McLaren. His kick smothered, but it fell in the hands of the captain coach in Fife, who kicks down the corridor and finds a teammate in Douse. They need to bounce back and do it quickly. They found some space and they did it well. One of their best passages of play ends up in the arms of the one and only Declan Barnett, who kicked one in the first quarter, and he'll attempt to become the first multiple goal scorer for the Sale side this afternoon.
I think the kick was intended there for Carter, but Barnett just chopped out in front of him, so hopefully he puts this one through.
From 45, dead in front, needs to find the goals. The conditions are perfect. The kicks equal to the conditions, and he gets his second in Sale. Well, they stop the rot, but the goals keep on coming.
Running out of room.
And it's a 31-point lead to Leongatha. We've played 11 minutes into the second quarter, and the Greenham Gippsland scoreboard has the Parrots on 11-4-70, leading Sale 6-3-39.
Well, best on ground performer so far, these two sides, thanks to Gippsland Isuzu. What a game of football. A high-scoring fest. I just think that Sale don't want the shootout. I think there's too much firepower for Leongatha for mine, but we'll get back to the middle. Can they slow things down? Well, there's a whistle, and it's from the central umpire. We're going to do it again. He threw it a little bit off centre, and Lippman and Harry, again, Lippman got the hand on it. Good work by McLaren. Left foot kick was around the body, top of the 50 it goes. Freeman led the chase, just couldn't get a handle on it. Kelly was back there, came back inboard traffic. He got a handball over to Stone, who kicked it towards the wing area. Glenane's his target, worked underneath it illegally, the umpire said. And a free kick to Jackson Glenane. Goes towards the top of the 50. Harry's got great elevation. Goes up and marks. Too far out to score. If he can move it quick, there's some open space. Willis is in the goal square. Harry goes back. Now there's numbers back, so he just has to bomb it in. 25 metres out, this will land, and in the front spot will take the mark. Is it Cameron Olden? He's got great hands. He'll go back directly in front and look for Leongatha's 12th at the 12-minute mark of this second quarter.
This can't continue, surely.
No, I love Leongatha's flexibility. They put Jackson Harry into the ruck. Like, he's got pace.
Good leap.
And his leap, his vertical leap's incredible.
Well, Cameron Olden directly in front goes back. Leongatha, they've got 12. And we're only 12 minutes into the second quarter box.
I'm stunned. This is incredible. You just don't get to see this very often too, but they are dangerous when they get inside 50. They hurt you when they get inside 50. Another great goal there to the Parrots.
And our Greenham Gippsland scoreboard now reads Leongatha 12-4-76 with a 37-point lead over Sale, who at 6-3-39, and almost 13 minutes played second quarter.
Just progressive scores there in the Mid-Gippsland Football League, thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture. It's an even game, totally opposite. 3-1-19 apiece to Hill End and Moving North.
Ball back in the centre, Morwell Recreation Reserve. Lippman got the tap, fell in the arms though of Bowman, who under pressure spat the ball out, and Martin will get the free kick for the Magpies. Looks left, looks right, and says no. I'm going to go long, boys. I'll go to left half forward flank.
Oh, nicely done.
Nicely done. Good leg too, and nicely taken, I've got to say, as well by Barnett, who's kicked too. He couldn't find a teammate, unfortunately, and now Leongatha will surge forward again towards the outer side. The race is on, and in that race is Will Leslie, and he was fighting hard, I reckon it was, against Borshman possibly, but the boundary wins out, and there'll be a boundary throw in outer side of the ground, boys.
You know, with Baboon off the ground, it left a little bit of a hole there for Leongatha. There's no hole. They just know how to replace like for like, and they get the job done down back as well.
So ball comes back in. Lippman got the hand on it. Harry tried to get over the back. It was a quick kick by Dunn. Goes towards the wing area. He follows up his good work. Leslie got back, and Lloyd just crunched into him illegally, and a free kick will go in the way of Leslie on his half-back flank for the Magpies. They trail at the moment by 37 points, but it's been good football. He went inboard, found Mitch Bone, and Bowen comes to the near side. He's got Barnett all on his own on the wing. He lets it bounce. He gets a bit of a dodgy one. Now he's under pressure, but he got one over the shoulder. He did well. He just dropped the shoulder at the right time and won himself the free kick. Smart footballer, Declan Barnett. Assesses what he has ahead of him. Gooch will be the target. I don't think it's got the carry. Freeman tried to come in. Good work by Stone to get a hand on it. Running out of there was Nagel. Kicks around the body, and Glenane for Sale. We've got a Glenane for Sale and a Glenane for Leongatha. So Jack Glenane goes to half forward. Over the back of the head there of Sam Brooks. Stone was the one for the Leongatha guys who grabbed it and got it back towards half forward. Going back was McGuinness. He goes to ground. He now tries to drag it in. Working hard at ground level as well is a Leongatha forward in the like of Maskell, and we'll have a ball up, Poppy.
Scud, just in the North Gippsland Football League, just a progressive score there. Yarram 10-3-63. They lead Churchill 5-2-32.
Wow.
Ball to be thrown up just on the arc of 50. Leongatha into attack and attacking too as we speak. They've been sensational, but on that occasion, Magpies earned themselves a good free kick. The pressure was good, and the free kick will go the way of McGuinness, who comes grandstand side in front of the TRFM commentary position. That was Gooch that flew high, a punch from a standing start, forward by McGlinden. Again, there'll be a boundary throw in the interchange gates of the Morwell Recreation Reserve in front of a really healthy crowd and beautiful day. And it's a qualifying final with Lippman up against Wills.
And Willis got it down. Marriott just sort of shuffled it to a teammate in Brown. He went backwards to Stone, and he was able to shug off the tackle in McGlinden. Now Willis gets on the end of this in the wing area, who took the mark, pushes back quickly, drives it in, gets a good depth on the footy, over to Ganane. He drives it now to the top of the square. Yep. Olden goes up.
What a set of hands this guy's got.
The youngster, and we talk about McLaren for Sale. Well, this guy's equally as good. The two youngsters putting on a show this afternoon in Gippsland League footy, as Cameron Olden already has one. Now he's directly in front. He actually got the last goal of the game at the 12-minute mark. We're now at the 16.5, and Cameron Olden gets two in a row. Leongatha have 13. The margin's out to 43, Boxer.
We need to give some credit to Ganane. He's presented fantastically well this first half, and those sort of efforts don't get rewarded very often because he works hard at ground level. That kick was so smart inside, and the way that Olden marked that was very difficult the way he did it. His vertical leap is fantastic, and his finish was just as good.
That's 5 goals from 7 inside 50s for Leongatha this quarter, and they go to 13-4-82, leading Sale by 43 points on the Green and Gippsland scoreboard. The Magpies are on 6-3-39.
Well, I said they'll win by 48 points, so I didn't mean half time, to be honest, but it looks as though that's where it's going to end up. So good, Leongatha. Sale, though, will go forward through Leslie. Right half forward flank, went searching for Gooch. Couldn't find that player. I reckon Skelling was applying some pressure. Gooch putters up, goes to the top of the square or near on, and the ball will be held down. Or was a player taken high? No, the umpire says no. I'll ball this up 20 metres out from Sale's goal.
Just needed to see a bit more influence there from Lippman as well. I know he's been, injured or he's been pretty crook. Just need a bit more influence there for Lippman.
Gooch takes the ruck duties, but Willis slaps it towards the boundary line. Stone is the one. Just fell over, then fumbled it. He was over, though. And we'll have a boundary throw-in still inside Sale's forward 50, 45 metres around. And as we said, the margin's 43 points. And we're at the 18-minute mark of the first quarter. Mafra sitting back watching this, working on the defensive skills, you would have thought.
Taking plenty of notes.
Yep. Willis gave it up. Dowse with a quick kick, goes high, top of the square. Carter's in the front spot. One hand out. Rove quickly by McGlinden. And here's inside, outside, right foot kick, goes through for a goal. Big moment for Monticello's.
I think the positive sign there for Sale, and that was a great goal there too by McGlinden, is that they're not giving up. They're still in the fight here too, even though it's still a 6-goal game at the moment. If they can keep chipping away at this, they still have to give themselves a big chance as well. So a much needed goal there to Sale.
Taking Sale to 7-3-45 on the Green and Gippsland scoreboard. Leongatha 13-4-82, 19-minute mark of the second quarter. We've had 20 goals kicked in the match, boys.
This has to be records. I have not filled up this side of my sheet in a half of football ever in the last 5 years.
Well, you couldn't use mine. You tore that up.
Yeah. Free kick behind play goes Leongatha's way, and they go straight down the guts, to use an old-fashioned terminology. And on the end of it was hoping to be Maskell. He overruns it, gets a second chance. Free kick held without the ball was Chris Laverty. So deep in the left back pocket, Laverty goes towards the outer side. Can he get it over the top?
No.
He cannot. And so Jackson Harry, who's kicked one earlier in this quarter, will attempt to kick his second, but importantly his side's 14th.
Oh, I can't believe it.
They've kicked 5 straight this quarter.
Wow, they're on song, aren't they? And as good as Sale have been, Leongatha have been better, and by a decent sort of margin.
And the record for the second quarter, boys, is 8 straight.
Okay, so they're going for their 6th straight as we speak, with probably still 10 minutes to go, given the amount of goals that we've had. We've just ticked over the 20-minute mark, and Jackson Harry, on the slightest of angles, really, probably about 25 degrees from 45 metres. He's going to pull this one to the left. And Sale go,
Drag him.
They can miss.
Drag him.
Yeah.
Get him
a minor score, Paul Carter.
13-5-83 Leongatha to Sale 7-3-45 on the Green and Gippsland scoreboard.
Sale of the football. And it's Laverty to bring it back in for the Magpies. Goes short to the pocket. Found a teammate out there. And it's Bowen. Or Leslie. And Leslie it is. Chips it over the top. Found his teammate in Dowse. So he's right on his defensive 50 for the Magpies. Comes back inboard just. Laverty was there. They haven't moved a great deal, the Magpies. Now they get it outside 50. And this time it's back out in the hands of Leslie on his defensive 50. Oh, it's a chipping high kick.
Uh-oh.
It's going to turn over because Bowman's the one who marked it in the middle of the ground. The defenders are all out of structure at the moment.
Look at the movement up forward. They're
Bowman
going everywhere.
Goes towards the 50. Maskell's the target. Front and square there was Olden. Bobbles out near the back. Sale are under pressure. They slap it on the boot. It goes towards the boundary line and the Sale coaching staff, and it trickles over. And we have a boundary throw in again. Sale take a deep breath. Try to reset. They're under siege. They trail by 38 points in the 21-minute mark, second quarter.
So the boundary throwing to take place right half forward flank. It'll be Gooch against Terry. Gooch gets a favourable throw in, but a good pick up after a thump forward, and it was picked up beautifully a moment ago by Borshman, and now they'll go forward, this time through Marriott. He couldn't find a forward, which in itself is unusual, but Willis in the 1-2 goes over the top, and this could be another one. A centering kick comes off the boot, and at the top of the square, thank you very much, Alden, who's already kicked, I say 2 for this quarter, will have the opportunity to kick his 3rd, and his side's 6th. So they've been good. They've been good all over the ground, but they're finding plenty of forwards who are doing their jobs beautifully.
Mark it down. Great kick.
Alden from 20 metres out directly in front, off the boot actually, was nice. Well done. Good call, Scud. Good goal, Alden. And Leongatha Boxer just continuing on their merry, merry way.
I'll continue to talk about how much they share and care the ball inside 50, Leongatha. They don't care who kicks the goals. Lloyd probably have an opportunity there to really have a snap and try and kick that miraculous goal.
Yep.
All he was worried about doing was getting the ball to the top of the square and let somebody else try and do the work. And why wouldn't you? Alden's just got a set of hands like that, and he finished the job off for him.
44-point lead to Leongatha. 23 minutes played second quarter. 14-5-89 to Sale 7-3-45.
Well, now Hurley looks like he's in a bit of strife as he comes to the bench as well. And sorry, Thacker was.
Yep.
They go forward, but Leongatha defence holds up. Sovereign gave it to Cooper. His kick goes towards the boundary line. Borshman was the target. Closing quickly out there was Leslie. Cooper followed up his kick. Gave a handball off to the running Marriott. He comes inboard to Bowman, and they're away, the Parrots. Left foot kick, half forward. Lloyd's the target. Marked on his chest. It's an open forward line. He swings, goes to the top of the 50. Davidson will fly. Stone was there as well. Good work by Sale. Laverty's the one. Repels that forward thrust. Handball over the top to Williams. Middle of the ground. They've got one on. Freeman, top of the 50. Can mark. Turn and go. Kick to the hot spot. Carter's going to elevate and drop the mark. Barnett took the grabs off the hands and got wrapped up in a tackle. Umpire says, my ball.
Good umpiring there, I think. He would have been lucky not to get a free kick against him then too, Westaway, but it was a great call there by the umpire.
You know what, Leongatha went forward a moment ago. They had 3 players, and probably the numbers caused them the problems. They had all the numbers around the ball, and they've got that now in the back half as they come towards the right half-back flank, and it's nicely done too, as Ganane grabs the ball, gives it off, and finds his teammate in Dunn. Chris Dunn gives ground, keeps possession. On the lead is the big fella in James Lloyd. He can't take the ball, but this bloke can. Johnny Gooch inside forward, 50, a big jump by Reese Carter. He went up, he flew high, and I tell you what, if there was a jumbo jet flying over the ground as he flew, he could have touched the bottom of it.
They should have put a light on him.
They should have put a light on him. He was very good. Nice fly, nice take, but it means nothing unless you can finish. And off the boot,
it's coming back
and just drifts through for a minor score. As good as the build-up was, it ended in a point.
7-4-46 Sale, trailing now by 43 points on the Green and Gippsland scoreboard. Leongatha are 14-5-89.
So Kelly for Leongatha brings it in to the far side of the ground. Fife punched it forward. Cooper was there though. Gave it to Borshman, who gave it backwards to Hopkins. He wants someone to present to him, and he gets just that. And Marriott's the one. He dropped the mark. Second bite was over the line. And we'll see a boundary throw in. 25 and a half minutes gone. Second quarter, 43 points is the margin But more importantly, we've had 21 goals kicked in a half of football. A great offensive display from both sides. Hopkins gave it to Marriott from that stoppage. His kick goes around the body. Harry was the target. McGuinness tried to work him off the line that he was working on, but Harry's second effort was really nice. Left foot kick over the top. Running onto that was Maskell. He just tried to basketball him to himself and then lost the handle on it. And Sale will able to quickly kick it back out to the half-back flank as Descent gave it to McLaren. He squared it up to the near side and he finds Martin.
And Martin's inside, or grandstand side, I should say, in that lethal left leg. Can he find a teammate? Well, he could, but the teammate in Carter couldn't take the ball. But they'll hold the ball at left half forward and they'll get the free kick. And they'll play on quickly. They'll do it through Glenane, not Genane. And Glenane for Sale will go short. He found his teammate in Descent. He'll kick to within 10 metres. Lippman 1-2, couldn't take the mark. 5 hangs around. A Cook handball puts pressure on the Parrots, but the Parrots, as they so often do, are equal to the pressure. And it comes back in the way of Chris Dunn, goes inboard. And now the pressure's off them and on Sale because a big thump forward by James Lloyd means the race is on for the ball. Sale have the ball. A 1-2 over the top. They've worked their way neatly through that. Dyer to McLaren and now inboard to Douse, who runs 10, kicks 40, and Fife is the target. Positioned himself beautifully, couldn't take the ball, and just on half-time, Leongatha were about to mount another surge forward.
Oh, great football and great work by the Leongatha defence to hold that one up. There's some tired boys out there. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon, and as you'd expect, we've had 21 goals kicked in a half of football. Leongatha have 14 of them. It is 14-5-89, Sale a 7-4-46. The margin is 43 points, and both sides will look forward to going into the sheds at half-time, refuelling themselves for a massive second half. Leongatha have been simply outstanding and has been led by Josh Hopkins, who's kicked 4 goals. Cameron Olden got 3 in that quarter, and Tommy Marriott's been a star in the middle of the ground. The margin, 43 points at half-time. Qualifying final day right here at the Morwell Rec Reserve. Leongatha 14-5-89, Sale 7-4-46. It's all thanks to Harvey Norman Electrical.
The freshest way to start the day. Gabby and Dan, the TR Morning Crew.
And in the lead up to Father's Day, it was a very special edition of Dad Jokes.
What did the Mexican fire chief call his 2 sons, Paul from Warrigal?
Jose and Hose B.
25 seconds here.
Keep an eye on Nick Nagel. He's got the those 2 goals inside 22 seconds. Let's have a look at it. Third quarter's underway. Lippman tapped it down. Brown tried to get one over the shoulder. Didn't get one from the umpire. Head over the football. There was Leslie. Leongatha just will their way forward again, but Laverty will take the mark at centre-half back and quickly play on. Well, they're not going to lock things down. They're going to move the footy quick. Sale gets it to the outside. Here's Hurley. He runs away. He kicks a bit of a scrubber. It goes along the ground. Now Marriott swoops on it on the wing. They go to Ganane. He can handball back to Marriott. No, he stops and waits.
Look at this.
And they go. Oh, Nagel was there as well. Harry got the free kick, though, over the shoulder. It's too late anyway. We've already travelled 40 seconds. But Jackson Harry, he'll be the one to get a chance to get Leongatha's goal in this third quarter. Will kick from 45.
It was going to be hard for Nagel. He started up high on a wing. So unless he had some the Speedy Gonzalez shoes on, he was never going to get there.
So Jackson Harry certainly liked what we've seen out of Jackson throughout season 2019. He's got a great leap and he does. His work rate is certainly improved. Coach Paul Carvis has acknowledged that throughout the year. They love the way he plays. He's stayed in games of football and now he's looking for his second goal to just get this margin just close to the 50-point margin. We're 43 at the moment. Harry skips in, steps over the 50 and puts it on its way. It's not going to make the distance. It's a big... Did anyone touch it? They did just. A minor score to open up this third quarter.
14-6-90 Leongatha, 44-point leaders on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
So, sorry, Paul.
Do you know who he reminds me of? Jackson Harry way moves? Jake Best. Remember him from a few years ago?
Absolutely. Plays down at Vermont at the moment.
So Sale bring the ball back into play. They find Jordan Descent inside defensive 50 in the corridor. He looks right. You can see a couple of options there, but he needs to find him, and he does. That's Dyer. They're still in defensive 50, but now with the boundary line just a metre to his right. Dyer will go towards right half-back flank. Don't like the look of that kick. But mind you, the bloke that did was Stone. Cameron Stone plays on quickly. Gee, there's some room to move here. Bowman over the top, thank you. This is easy. This is cakewalk type of stuff from Leongatha. I just sense that, as Paul Carter pointed out, Sale have lost some of their urgency, and Leongatha will make you pay very quickly. Chris Dunn, he kicked one in the second quarter. He's got a chance to be the fourth multiple goal kicker for Leongatha. He's directly in front. He's 45 metres out. His side is leading by a fair margin, 40-plus points, and will start to edge towards 50 points after this kick and off the boot. It looks okay, and I reckon it's just made it.
It's got the distance.
It has indeed. So there you go. Leongatha have got the blood, or they've blooded the first quarter, the second quarter, and now the third quarter. They've started off brilliantly, and that lead just starts to blow out further, Paul Carter.
It's a 50-point lead, and I suppose Leongatha a bit slow off the mark this quarter. It took them 3 minutes to get that goal. To Chris Dunn, it's his second goal for the day, and on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, the Parrots are 15-6-96, leading Sale 7-4-46.
Yes, it is continuing, isn't it, Box?
Yeah, the floodgates, I reckon, are going to open now. What I've just seen behind the play with some Sale footballers, I won't mention their names, just their chase at them player was just a little bit lazy.
Say it, just tell them.
Well,
that's it. That's what you're there for, mate.
Yeah,
Call it as you see it. Take no prisoners, Box.
Sale go forward, but they were pinged for a... it was going back towards Sale. Free kick to Geordie Descent in the middle of the ground. He goes lateral out wide. Leslie's out there. He chips one inboard to McLaren, who's too far out. He swings around and right foot kick. Top of the square it goes. Carter will fly in the front. It's spoiled over the back. There's a free kick.
Wow, didn't see
it's
it.
going in the way of Reece Carter. It was over the shoulder, the umpire said. And Carter will go back. Westaway can't really believe it, as he'll have his chance to kick a goal for the Magpies.
I don't think Carter could believe it.
No, 50 points is the current margin in favour of the Parrots, who have been dominant in a half of football where they kicked 14 goals. As now Carter comes in, he's got one, he's looking for another right foot kick, and it goes through the middle. We've continued. The offensive game style that both sides are playing is working again.
Well, it's good to see that Sale did reply to that goal, because normally Sale, for Leongatha, normally they would get the end-on-end goals, but Sale to get that one there back, if it was fortuitous or not, well, albeit whatever it was, they got the goal. Hopefully they can get that one now. They need to back one up straight away. 44
points ahead, Leongatha, at the 5-minute mark of the third quarter, 15-6-96 to Sale 8-4-52, and that's on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
Here we go again, Limpman v Willis, centre of the Morwell Recreation Reserve qualifying final. The winner to go forward and play Maffra at Maffra. The loser to play tomorrow's winner, and tomorrow's game is between Moe and Druin. You'll be hearing that game live on TRFM as Leongatha go forward. Cut off nicely, though, by Sales Chris Laverty, and on that left leg, kicks to the advantage of Fife. He taps it ever so cleverly to the advantage of his teammate, and on the end of a good piece of play was Glenane. Left half forward flank. On that left leg, he kicks to the corridor. Can he find a teammate? It goes over the back and nearly fell in the arms of Reece Carter, who's kicked two. Now he's claiming a free kick, but it doesn't matter. It's going to go Leongatha's way.
Yeah, dangerous kick.
It was, and Sandbrook will take that free kick.
So he comes to the grandstand side. He's got two players out here. One of those is Kelly, who can mark. He can go over the top to Sculling if he wants. Now he's manned up. He's been called to play on, so he has to kick around the body. He gets a good purchase on it to the wing area. Good spoil over the back there from Zach Hurley. With those lovely locks of his, trots back to centre-half back area. Boundary throw in front of the grandstand here at Morwell on a beautiful Saturday afternoon of the TRFM Gippsland League. Leongatha by 44 points at the moment.
So the ball thrown back in. Lippman had front position, lost it in the sun. Willis said thank you and clawed it out of the pack, bursted it forward, but it fell in the arms of Hurley, who's been reasonably solid today. Goes short, nicely done and taken inboard to Leslie. Comes grandstand side to Martin, who's under pressure, gives it back to Hurley. Another touch. This one's cut off, and it was cut off nicely by Bowman. And now under pressure. In fact, all players around the ball are under pressure. There's a few mitts going in, trying to edge it forward, but none of them can do so. There will be a free kick that opens up the play. Yeah. The free kick will go Luke Williams' way.
Yeah, there's a don't argue from Cameron Olden that just got Luke Williams a little bit high.
So Williams kicks to right half forward flank. Lippman has front position.
Oh.
And Willis punches it forward. Nicely done. And now from left half back flank, again Leongatha flying high. Waiting down, in fact, was Maskell, who cleverly gave it to Hopkins. And Leongatha just using the ball beautifully. Find themselves at left half forward flank. The kick comes from Harry inboard. This is a little bit too easy again as Marriott kicks to the advantage. Can he find a teammate? That teammate, I think, could be Davidson. Brock goes inboard. Now they've found Hopkins. He's kicked 4. Glenane, from a standing start, threatens the goal. Or does he? No, across the face. And it will be a boundary throw in or an out of play on the full. Yet the boundary umpire changed his mind. Good call too. And Sale, with the goalpost just metres to the left, will bring the ball back into play.
So Collins is the one to bring it back in. Looking for his ruckman in Lippman. Can't mark it. Ball goes over. Right in front of the canteen here at Morwell.
Just a quick progressive score in the North Gippsland Football League thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture. Churchill 8-4-52, Yarram 12-5-77.
Bit of a fight back there from the Cougars. It's a 44-point margin here for Leongatha from this stoppage. Hayden Brown roves it, has a flying shot across the face, and it's through for a minor score. McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, Australia's most popular made barista.
Leongatha 15-7, to Sale 8-4-52, 8.5 played, third quarter.
Okay, Sale to bring the ball back into play. You got an update from the East Gippsland League, Boxer?
I do. It's Boysdale. They lead Lindendale 74-41.
So the ball now with Leongatha. They threaten the goals that they've done for most of the day. In fact, they've threatened the goals. Can you believe this? On 15 occasions. They've been very good from right half back flank. Though Sale now will keep the pressure on as best they can. The boundary umpire says just as Skelling was going to take the ball that it actually went out of play. So we'll throw this one back in around about left half forward flank, just short of, as Willis and Lippman will battle for the opportunity to get first hands on it. Around the contest. The pick up by Brown and the kick forward by Dunn starts to land in the hands of Maskell. Maskell looks inboard. Can he find Ganane? Yeah, nicely done. Good understanding.
What about I've been saying it all the time. Just they share the ball inside, and it just makes a difference. Those little taps inside.
Yep.
They probably don't get seen by everybody. We've got probably a perfect view here. But if you didn't see that, you've got your eyes closed. What a great assist there too. Now all Ganane's got to do now is finish off the good work.
So Jack Ganane on a 40-degree angle as they look to extend this margin again. Back out over the 50 points if he puts this through. They have been dominant, the Parrots, and Ganane puts it on its way. He's pulled it. Well, we've had a goal-scoring fest in the first half, and now at the 10-minute mark of the third quarter, we've only had 2 goal scores.
And it's 15-8-98, Leongatha to Sale 8-4-52, McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
Laverty will bring the ball back into play, but to Boxer's point, they don't count on the stat sheet, but they're every bit as valuable as a kick or a handball. Those knock forwards to advantage of a teammate as Fife goes searching for a teammate from the left half-back flank. Out of sight of Morwell Recreation Reserve, with his side trailing at the moment by a concerningly big margin, a total of 46 points. It's 98-52, and we're 10 3/4 minutes into the third quarter. Harry jumped high. Lippman kept his feet and got the tap down. Fife couldn't get it clear. Let's see if Bowman can. Ganane gets rid of his opponent nicely. And
chopping.
His arms were chopped. He had hands on the ball. I thought he dropped it, but the umpire saw the chop of the arms. And Ganane, well, he missed one from a similar distance. And at this level, you don't miss 2 in a row. And he won't. He'll kick this. It's a decent kick, mind you. He'll kick it from 40 plus.
Just on a different other side of the ground, slightly.
Yep, so Ganane would have worked out what he needed to do. And let's see if he can't get a goal after an inaccurate start to this third quarter. Off the boot, looks okay. The umpire...
He's gone the other way.
He's gone left this time after last time going right. So he'd be disappointed. And it made me look like a dick. But anyway, we'll all move on.
Not hard.
The Leongatha total now 15-9-99 to Sale 8-4-52, coming up to 12-minute third quarter.
Kick in out of fullback again's a turnover. Leongatha are piling on the pressure. Bowman's kick didn't quite come off. Mark back there by McGuinness, who quickly plays on by hand to Laverty. He got it further afield. And that was Gooch out there. Gets to the wing, but picking it off is Stone. and he just ran into a bit of a tackle, coughed the footy up. Bowman did a big don't argue, then kicked around his body. Here's Ganane again. Just copped one a little half volley. Couldn't quite keep a handle on it. Brown did well. Tried to get a handball back to Ganane. Bowman works hard at ground level as well. Martin's under pressure from the Magpies, and we'll have a ball up.
Yeah, Scott in the Mid-Gippsland Football League. He'll land 6-2-38. They trial moving north 8-5-53.
So Willis was just running through a pack of Sale players and bullying them out of the way just to assert a bit of physical authority around the contest. He runs to full forward. The ball's still in the centre of Morwell Rec Reserve. The umpire will ball it up after players from both sides can't get a clean possession.
Poppy just in the Allenbank League, 3/4 time, second semi-final. Allenbank 3-8-26. They trial Longwarry 9-8-62.
So just short of centre half forward, Leongatha continuing their attack.
It's a plethora of football happening around
There is,
Gippsland at the moment.
even without AFL.
Can you think of a new word?
Yeah, we
I
did
just
one.
got to get it right. That's all.
Maskell. Well, he's taken off the ball. No, he's actually caught with the ball, was the call. And Hurley takes a free kick and goes towards Martin on that outer side.
Left foot kick from Martin. Nice, neat one to Glenane. He can run around and carry, deliver to Carter on the chest. Beautiful kick in the end.
He's going to play on.
He steps up, plays on. He got tackled from behind. He got a handball away, but he got legged as well. And Westaway, well, he can't believe it. All the decisions are going against him.
Got a little bit excited then.
So Carter's 45 metres out. He's on a 45-degree angle. And he's got two. He does have one in this quarter. However, the Magpies trial by 47 points. They just need to chip away at this one. Mind you, they are too short on the bench, so they're down to two rotations as Carter comes in from 45. Right foot kick, coming back right to left.
What was he worried about?
No, he was not worried at all because it goes through the middle in the end and had the distance. 3 goals to Reece Carter.
He just gave himself an extra 5 metres, I think, there, Poppy, as well. So it's a hard pocket to kick from there too. The Keegan, is it the Keegan Street side, you will call it?
Hazelwood Power Station
end. Well, it's at the side, but anyway, there's a great goal there by Reece Carter, just much needed there for Sale.
McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard sees Leongatha leading by 41 points. We've played 14.5 minutes into the third quarter. The Parrots 15-9-99, Sale 9-4-58.
These two are carrying on like boyfriends.
Off the ball, just Cameron Olden's come off. I reckon he was holding his groin as well. So just a bit of an injury concern there too for the Parrots.
All right, here we go.
Yep.
Dr. Nick Riviera.
We'll have a sore toe.
Sale into attack again, and they do it a compliment of a free kick of Descent, who fed the ball out, and now they threaten but don't burst through forward 50. Leongatha have got good numbers. They just got to decide which way they're going to go. They went the way of Cooper, who got caught with the ball, and Sale will have the opportunity to kick 2 in a row. They haven't had that opportunity too many times. Cooper held it up nicely. The free kick will go Glenane's way on that left leg. He'll kick to the top of the square. This is where they're broken down. They haven't got the forwards that Leongatha have got, but they'll do their best this time through McLinden, who was beaten to the ball by the boundary. Boundary throw-in, metres from Sale's goals. They're kicking to the highway end,
We got a blood
or the
rule.
scoreboard end.
We got a blood rule, Poppy.
Blood rule.
Westaway hasn't had the best of third quarters, to be honest. He now comes off with the blood rule, and replacing him will be Kelly.
No, he hasn't had a good quarter, has he? He's given a couple of free kicks away, and on that occasion, I think he accidentally punched himself in the face. So, things are going bad.
Tell you who has had a good quarter. Luke Bowman, 6 more disposals. He's into the 20s now.
Yeah, which is a really good sign for the Parrots, isn't it? He has had an indifferent type of season. We know what he's like, but he comes to the forefront on big games. And that boundary throw-in was short. There's a chance for Sale's quick snap on goal. Didn't quite get there. Stone's got a couple of beat. Dowse is one of those. He kicks around his body, goes backwards in the end. Barnett just had to put a contest on. Sandbrook just blazed away. It's all Sale, and marking it on his chest there is Mitch Bowen.
So Glenelg, the Sale side are actually leading this quarter, boys, and they can start to spread a little bit more. So they'll start to claw their way back into the game. There's a long way to go, mind you.
Well, it is 2 points. They're in front in this quarter, but you take your wins as you go.
That's a Ben Brown run up there.
Well, it is close to Brown. We're going with Bowen, and Mitch will come in. Will kick from about 48 metres, puts it on its way. It's a wobbler off the boot, and it just scrapes in for a minor score on your McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, Australia's most popular barista made coffee only at McCafe.
Takes Sale to 9.5.59. Leongatha 15.9.99.
Sandbrook goes short, finds Kelly, defensive 50 to go towards the outer side of the ground where they've found Marriott also. He's been good without great, but he's been part of a good side, very good side. He too goes short. So they're working the ball nicely. I reckon it could be Harry with the ball. He comes grandstand side now, back to Sandbrook. Sandbrook from left half back flank, backs himself in for pace. It's something he doesn't normally do because he hasn't got a lot of pace. But he finds Harry, and Harry chooses the wrong option because he went, he went 1-on-2, and guess what? The 1-1 out comfortably after a fumble by Fife, and now, unbelievably, they've got the numbers. And towards the outer side of the ground, the boundary umpire called it out. Leongatha say, well, I dispute that, but it doesn't really matter because the boundary umpire will win out.
Yep.
It'll be a boundary throw-in, 70 metres from Leongatha's goals. They're kicking to the Morwell end of the Morwell Recreation Reserve.
Ball will come back into the field of play. Lippman just taps it forward, looking for someone to run onto it. No teammates were there, but it was picked up by Dowse now. And Mitch has a bounce on the wing. He handballs over the top. They got the overlap. Fife was there, gets towards Gooch.
Nice.
Goes up and marks. Open forward line. Barnett's in there. He's 1-on-1 with Stone. Steps around though, did Gooch, and he put it on the boot. And, well, in the end, I don't know if it was a shot or a pass that's gone out of bounds on the full. So Leongatha through Stone will bring it back in and found Skelling. Sale of, as you said, Poppy, they've had the majority of the play inside 50s, Paul.
9-5 Leongatha's way, but Sale had the last three.
All right. Actually, that surprises me too.
Absolutely.
I thought they feel as though they've had more opportunities. But anyway, Leongatha with the ball, and they, from Cooper, go short to Nagel. Left half-back flank. They're starting to wiggle their way through a Sale side. Left half-forward flank. Yeah, nice lead, nice take. Again, pretty comfortably. As the big fella in Lloyd takes the ball, he goes short. Gee, a risky kick, but Maskell was good enough to take it in front of Hurley. Left half-forward flank. That left foot can be deadly. Let's see if he can find a teammate. He's going to go. He's going to take a high-risk shot. We can see what he's trying to do.
Look at that.
Change direction, and from 55, he pinpointed the pass that found a teammate at right half-forward flank. Hopkins goes short. The lead was on, cut off nicely. And if they get a good bounce, Sale could be away. And here they go. Dance around, and they've got the opportunity to feed it off, but they choose to go long. The kick from Dowse should have found a teammate in Descent, and it didn't. And now Leongatha should be able to walk this one out.
Yeah, Cooper gave it to Skelling, and they go through the middle. Turnover, though. Poor kick. Glenane has it. He chips it to the far side. Gooch is out there.
Descent.
Gooch goes towards Descent. He's got the set, and the kick was beautiful. And nearly 50, I would have thought. But no, the umpire said you take the mark, you go back, and Geordie Descent, a good little patch by the Magpies, and they might face off against each other maybe in a couple of weeks' time. So you take these wins as they come, albeit only 20 minutes of this third quarter. So Geordie Descent has won. He side trails by 40 points at the moment. And now the margin is back to a 34. Geordie Descent puts it straight through.
Yeah, another nice goal there to Sale. I spoke about that suffocation, Poppy. I can just see it starting to happen. They're just forcing that turnover to Leongatha. They've just taken a little bit of bite off there too. So they've got the last three goals of the quarter. And I spoke about chipping away. If they can get to within, that 25-point mark at three-quarter time, win the quarter, you never know what could happen in the last quarter.
It could be a funny game, can't it? But this wouldn't be so funny for Leongatha, who have really had control of this game, Paul Carter, for a lot of it.
Leongatha leading by 34 points, 21-minute mark on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
So a centre break important for Sale now to back that up. Lippman gets a tap, can't find a teammate. Leongatha caught ball and all by Hurley. And there were a ball up by the central umpire. In fact, it was McLaren who had the ball, not Hurley. Willis get the tap. I went his way, so I'll give it to him, but it was line ball. Another ball up by our central umpire. Just metres Leongatha's side of that centre circle. Be Willis and Lippman again. Let's see who gets the way this time. I reckon Willis got rid of Lippman, but neither player got hands to the ball. Let's see if Sale can kick it forward. They can off the ground, but it fell in the arms of Sandbrook. And that was a lucky break for the Parrots, but they'll take it.
He read it well, did Sandbrook. Kicks it towards the grandstand side. Hopkins is there. Closing is Hurley. Hopkins gives the hands up to Cooper. His kick inboard to Bowman. who's been busy. This is stat number
7 for this quarter now.
7 for the quarter. Kicks it back to Hopkins. He's got 4 goals. They all came in that first quarter, though, as Hopkins now kicks to the shallow pocket, and he misses everyone. Kicks it out of bounds on the full.
Scud Oldham, we haven't seen him for the this quarter so far since he's come off the ground. So I could be
on the money. Would maybe not. Well, the injury.
No. Just give me a little bit of credit.
Okay, you're on the money. Well, that could mean that both sides are down to 2 on the bench.
Yep.
And with maybe one eye onto next week as well.
Yep.
As Sale try to work it out of their back half at the moment. They're still in the defensive 50. It's in the hands of Leslie. His kick goes out wide. Big moments from Monticello's this afternoon. Don't forget their Jack Daniels 700ml at $39. Drink responsibly. His kick goes out towards Martin.
Martin from left half-back flank along the line. Long kick. Littman's got the set and takes the mark. He can play on quickly. He does. He finds Fife. Fife inside forward 50. He needs a winner here. Can't be. Sandbrook positioned himself nicely as Boxer, who's been scanning the oval and the crowd on occasions, points in a particular direction. You weren't happy with that surge forward, were you, Boxer?
Nah, Fife had 2 players just inside the 50 there that he could have just chipped the ball over to. Descent was one of them. He probably didn't see him, but I thought he would have.
Okay, so Ganane goes short and Leongatha is working their way forward. They're going to do this on this occasion through Davidson, Brock type, who finds his teammate in Borshman. Right half forward flank. It's now around centre half forward the ball. Leongatha have got the numbers, but they're just finding it hard to get a clear passage through to goal. This time Maskell, I reckon he was taken high. Yeah,
he dropped the shoulder.
He did it well. That's experience. I'm going to put this down as a goal because he's pretty deadly with that left leg, and he's going to kick from 40 metres out on the slightest of angles, but even the angle favours a left footer.
It certainly does. He looked to pass it off there too. Chrissy Dunn was on his own, but I think that's the right thing to do at the 24-minute mark of this third quarter. You go back, bit of a challenge there. Margin's back to 34 points. It was 43 at half-time. So this just to steady, well, it's not steadying the ship, but just to ease a little bit of pressure that may come. As Cade Maskell walks in, he'll kick it from about 40 metres. Left foot shot on its way.
Whoa.
He's pushed it. Poppy marked it down, but it's only a minor score.
Could take that back off.
Gippsland scored.
I reckon I've called 7 goals ahead of time today, and nothing has come up.
The hundreds come up for Leongatha. 15, 10, 100. They've kicked 1 goal 5 this quarter. 35-point lead over Sale on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
So, Poppy, you predicted 7. Nothing's come up. We've had 25 goals kicked.
Yeah.
You've done real well. As Gooch was the target for that kick.
High.
There's high McClendon that was on that occasion. They don't like the treatment that Nagel gave to young Jack. They try to rip him off, and Nagel's not letting him go either.
Just a quick...
And could nearly be 50.
Luke Williams has done a really good job on Hopkins since quarter time. Obviously, 4 goals, massive influence in the game. He's kept him goalless since.
A youngster who's played a little bit of power football this year.
He's going to try to dodge here.
He nearly runs out of real estate, has nearly run over. They call for out of bounds. The kick goes towards the wing area, and then crashing his way in was Glenane. Got tackled by 2 Parrots. And I know that doesn't sound too intimidating, but on a football field it is. So we'll have a ball up. 25 minutes of the third quarter. Willis taps it straight down Nagel's throat. Kick was smothered, goes over. Out of bounds. Boundary throw-in.
Yeah, come off the backside of a teammate there in Luke Bowman.
That's where my pen went.
It went, yeah, that's exactly right. But unlike your pen, the players are going to take this ball back. Left half forward flank. Nicely done by Willis. He handballs off, and just on the 3/4 time siren. Well, it didn't have all the goals, it didn't have all the thrills, but it was certainly a good physical contest, Scud.
Yeah, it certainly was. So 3/4 time, it sees Leongatha in control. 15 goals, 10-100. Sale 10-5, 65. It is 3/4 time. And Sale win the quarter. They take the wins. They kick 3 goals. No, I'm serious. I'm confident.
I'm very confident he's done his groin.
Let's concentrate on the game now.
Well, final quarter underway. A berth in next week's second semi-final is up for grabs, and Leongatha's got one hand on that at the moment. And they go forward again. Dunn kicked it off the ground to half forward. Maskell beautifully picked up. Harry just lost the handle on it. Sale come in to put a little bit of pressure on. Ball bobbles around in the contest. Now they win it through Hurley. Sweeps a handball out to his teammate Glenane. Sold Canny. Drove it down to half forward, downfield. And the free kick goes to Gooch. It's all one-on-ones. Carter presents. He goes in that direction or over his head. It's a high kick. It's a mongrel ball inside forward 50. It might just work out. Sovereign grabbed it for Parrots, gave it to Brown, and Sambrook can easily run out of defence and kick it to the wing.
So either they go Leongatha and they'll do it through Jackson Harry, who handballs quickly, and they'll find a way forward here. They go searching for Lloyd. Lloyd goes over the top to Maskell. From an impossible angle, he says, no, I'll choose what is going to be a much better option for us, and he gives it back to the bloke that started it in, Brock Davidson. And Brock Davidson, who's yet to bother he got one of the first. He'll kick from 45 metres out and from a 45-degree angle, so it's very kickable for a bloke of his quality. And let's see if they can't do what they've done early in most quarters. Kick a goal. We've only gone a minute and a tick over as Davidson lines up for goal. Off the boot. Well, high drop there and he pulled it left. So they score first, but it's not what they wanted.
15-11, 101 Leongatha on the Carpet Country scoreboard. They are 36 points, or 6 straight goals ahead of Sale, who are 10-5-65.
Martin got the kick in from fullback, kicked it out towards Fife, who marked it. And he's outside 50. He's going to look to take a few little risks as they come inboard, and that's just what they've got to do. Towards McLaren. He couldn't mark it. Marriott was front and square. Gave it backwards to Sambrook. He goes further afield. Ganane in a little bit of pressure. Then Martin tried to crawling after it on all fours. Just tapped it out to a teammate. And Douse got wrapped up holding the ball as the second tackler came in. And the rewards will go to Brock Davidson. No, Marriott will be the one to get the free kick.
Plays on quickly. Found a teammate too easily. And it's John Skelling who will kick right on the arc of 50. Josh Skelling.
John's his brother.
Father.
Sorry about that.
Oh, John is his father. Sorry, it is too. I was just making that up. But
well, like father, like son. It's going to be Josh Skelling. Let's see if he can kick this. Defender won't give up this chance. So Skelling, as a defender, kicks for goal. The ex-commissioner, of course, up until the time that Daryl Cooling took over.
I did not. I knew you were going to go there. I did not.
15-12, 102 to Sales, 10-5-65. We played 3 minutes final quarter.
So Laverty will bring it back. I'll wash your mouth out with salt in a moment. As the kick went out to McLaren, he stepped around a would-be tackler, got it towards the wing area. Carter didn't take the mark. Got his football back though. Gave it back there to Ganane. They get it further afield to Freeman, just taking a little bit of real estate and purchase on the ground. It was out in the front of Leslie, close to the boundary line. Stone was covering him as well, and we'll have a boundary throw in. 37-point margin at the moment, and Sale, they'll want to get this, as we said, back into that sort of 20-point range and have a really good second half. They won the third quarter.
After kicking 14-5, Leongatha have now kicked 1-7 since that stage.
Yeah, there you go. What time was that? What quarter? That was in the second quarter?
Late in the second quarter, 23-minute mark.
Oh, they certainly, Sale have got on top in that third quarter. If they finish strong here, I know you take something out of these qualifying games. That might just be it. But they go forward now through Dunn. Leongatha, that is. They get it towards Olden. He can't quite mark it. Sale come in to help. And groundwork there from Collins was good. Now the umpire will ball it up.
I did mention Oldham was back on, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
Had a good leap there.
Yeah.
No problem there with his lower body.
And great courage too after a career-ending groin injury just 5 minutes ago. Free kick after the ruck duel. It'll go, actually McLaren's well, is it? Behind play, no. It will go actually to the way of Mitch Dowse, who's got a short option. And that player is...
Leslie.
Plays on quickly. And inside forward 50 before it hits the boundary.
He goes a little bit underrated there, Cameron Stone. They just put the spoil on Freeman then too. It was a one-on-one, but he's been able to pick off some kicks too. And his
boys, big news.
Maskell?
Cade Maskell is walking, and I mean walking very slowly to the bench. This is an injury, no doubt. There's absolute no doubt. I wouldn't be surprised if either it's a hamstring, something of those sort of sorts. But he is walking slowly to the bench.
Daryl, I can just, he's very deflated.
Yeah.
You know, he's very, very deflated. So he knows something isn't right.
Well, let's just see if we get a bit of an indication of where he might sort of point to. As head down, there's been no score while this has been going on. Leongatha got in their back half. He goes straight into the other box, and this is big news because
I'm thinking Hammy Scud.
Yeah, the way he's walking, it looked to be real slow. He didn't want to take anything untowards, but a big news because they've got a big game next week as Sale go forward again. Ganane was the one, and that's Glenane, I should say, out in the front of Martin. Swings around on that left foot, lowers the eyes, hits the target up to Freeman, who can go back directly in front now. A few Leongatha players are down on their haunches as well. It's been a taxing game. I'm sure Mafra are watching this one or listening in and just saying, well, it's been a tough afternoon. We're fresh. We're on our home deck, and we've got a chance to win and go into a grand final. So Freeman will come in for the Magpies directly in front. They trail by 37 at the moment. Takes his time. He kicks it high in the air and up it goes straight through the middle. Well, they've got another one. They've kicked 4 goals to 1 since half-time.
Yeah, Scott, we spoke about it at half-time, and what we wanted Sale to do was just claw that deficit back, and they've done it really well. Albeit they've done it very slowly. The score could have been a lot worse than what it was, and to keep them to 1 goal so far for the game was a good finish there to Freeman. They're just going to have to keep backing it up now.
And it's our 31-point margin, 6-minute mark of the final quarter. The margin in favour of Leongatha were 15-12-102. Sale 11-5-71. Carpet Country scoreboard.
So as they've done so many times today, it's Lippman v Willis, and I reckon I'll give it to Willis, but could have went either way. How'd you call that, Paul?
Willis.
Okay, so I'll go Willis, and the umpire will eventually give an opportunity for Lippman to get one back if he can. What's the knockouts or the...
Lippman's had 31 and Willis has had 18.
Okay. Lippman's done well and he gets another one there. Looked for Fife. Fife held ball in to opponent. And there'll be another bounce down. So Leongatha just closing up shop, getting bodies around the ball. As you heard from Boxer and Scud, Sale have kicked 4 of the last 5. Nice tap forward again as we see so often. This time Jackson Harry finds a teammate in Davidson. They threaten forward 50 but don't burst through the line. From the half-back flank. The ball up. No, it spills out now. Nicely done to Marriott. His kick smothered. Oh, wait a minute. Umpire's called ball up this as his, and he'll ball it up. Left half-forward flank. Leongatha into attack.
So Lippman this time knocks it out. On that far side, though, is Davidson. He just kicks it off the ground to some open space. Borshman quickly leads the race for it. Toe pokes it. Close to the boundary now. Laverty just let him go there and asked the question to the umpire, was it deliberate? Umpire said no, we'll ball it in. 8 minutes in, 31 points is the margin. As injury concerns for both sides, Leongatha have got 3 major injuries to worry about in Verboon and Maskell and also in Olden, as all might not play next week.
It was off the ball then too. The umpires just called it then. It was too high. Steve Essler, who was off the ball, picked up that free kick.
Right, so Olden's not one of those 3 concerns.
No, he's not. He's going well.
Sorry.
Actually. Yeah.
So only the 2 major concerns. Sale got theirs as well.
Yeah, look, I think for Sale, they get that extra day break. If they lose this game, they play next Sunday as well. So that extra day could be pretty crucial in the make-up.
So Leongatha's trainers are pulling miracles down on the boundary. Olden's back on the ground. They're now turning water into wine, if you're interested.
There's a cue.
There we go.
Marriott slams it home and gets the steadier, and he is a star of the competition, is Tommy Marriott, and that's his first of the afternoon.
We have to maybe call that a heartbreaking free kick because the umpire in charge missed the free kick altogether. Marriott was definitely taken high from our view here, and a great goal there from a great player who's had a fantastic afternoon.
And back to a 37-point lead for Leongatha. We've played 9 minutes into the final quarter. Carpet Country scoreboard reads Leongatha 16-12, 108. Sale 11-5-71.
Sale's concerns are Sweeney with an ankle and Mitch Thacker with flu-like man flu type symptoms, which we wish him all the best in that because that could be serious.
Yeah, you'd rather have a hamstring.
Yeah, absolutely. Marriott won it through the middle, gave it to Sandbrook, who kicked it off the ground. Borshman was clean. Handball to Dunn, to Hopkins. This looks better from the Leongatha side. Harry,
good tackle.
He took on the tackle, and that was a great tackle. Jack McLaren. And we love the way he goes, and Harry decides to stay on the ground a little bit as well.
Too.
Yep. So McLaren brings it to the grandstand side. Martin is the target, and in front was Marriott. Well, those two know each other.
Harry's
fairly
the only
well.
player still down, boys.
Down, Harry.
So Marriott goes to the pocket and finds Dunn. And interesting to see what is the issue
I
with
reckon it's a shoulder, Darryl.
Oh, here we go again.
I've got to get one
We're
right.
100 metres away. Dunn quickly has a shot, and look at Chrissy Dunn. Have a look at that for a goal. He points up to the grandstand, and Chrissy Dunn, that's a sealer for the Parrots. What a star. Hard up on the boundary line, 50 metres out if you don't mind.
Yeah, maybe it's not a shoulder. It could be just a bit winded there, Darryl. But that was a Marcelo magic moment there by Chrissy Dunn. Great goal, deep on the boundary line there. Two in a row there, two for the Parrots.
Yeah, back to a 43-point lead for Leongatha on the Carpet Country scoreboard. The Parrots are 17-12-114 and Sale 11-5-71, and we've played 11 and a half minutes.
Lippman v. Willis, and this time Lippman, he got hands on the ball, but he hit the ground hard after a mighty fall. Fife gives the ball off, and off they go. They do it nicely too, through Lukey Williams from half back to half forward. Gooch flies high, hands on ball, couldn't take it to ground, but at ground level they're doing some good work through Martin. No, beaten to it, and Leongatha's defence holds up as it so often does. They turn defence into attack, and they do it through Hopkins. He's kicked four, but this time he feeds it off and to a teammate in Jackson Harry, who a moment ago had done his shoulder. He's back up and he's taken a good mark. Goes inboard. The kick wasn't great, so it opens the door for Sale. They can't make the most of it, so there'll be a ball up right on the arc of 50.
Yeah, I think he caught one in the
Red basket.
I think he caught one in the nuts.
Yeah.
At the top of the 50. Again, we've got a ball up, goes in that direction of Harry. He's not real keen to go to the footy. Luke Williams gets one over the shoulder. Free kick, Magpies. As right in his defensive 50 is Williams. He's been good. Kicks it out to the wing area. The target is Gooch. He'll have to fly. He does fly very nicely, and in the end takes a great grab. And the umpire just thinks about this for a moment and says, no, I think both players got their hands on the football and we'll ball it up. 13 minutes gone. Margin back out to a 43-point lead, which it was at halftime. Borshman tried to win it, got tackled. Ball bobbles around, running onto that one is Geordie Dessert. Nice kick to Dowse, turns and goes quickly. Gets in the Carter direction and West away. Carter recovers better, swoops on it. Gets around West away. Handballs over the top was poor though. And Sandbrook won it and gave it to Scalling. Inboard now to Dunn. That was Brown, to Cooper. His kick will be turned over. And elevating on the far side is Geordie Descent. Marked, kick. Down the line, half forward flank. A nice mark by Dowse. So he goes back. He's too far out to score. Gooch presents for him. Ignored. Barnett leads. Ignored. Slow things up. Now the lead presents is from Freeman, who can't get up and take the mark. Sandbrook's been good across half-back. Might be a free kick to McClendon. I think it will be. Over the shoulder. And McClendon will go back and have a shot on goal. 14 minutes gone. Key stat winners so far today. Paul Carter.
Tom Marriott had another 6 this quarter. He's up to 27. I'll take some more down in a minute.
All right. So Jack McClendon has one. Crafty small forward from the Magpies. Any news, Boxer, on Cade Maskell?
No, I haven't seen him come out of the dugout yet there, Scott. He hasn't gone up to the rooms, but he's definitely still on the bench there.
So McClendon comes in. He's on a slightest angle from 40 metres out. Shot on its way. He knows where the goals are. Good goal by the youngster.
Yeah, just a nice leader goal there too, because looked like Leongatha were going to get that little bit of a roll on there too. So just that one back for him as well, just to keep that score at a respectable level.
Well, you know what? We don't sense it in any way, but a couple of goals from here on in the next 5 minutes, it's a winnable game.
Yeah.
But you don't sense it at all. But they've clawed their way back, haven't they, Paul Carter?
They have. It's a 37-point lead to Leongatha at this stage. They are 17-12-114 to Sale 12-5-77.
37-point or shorter than that, I reckon.
No, it's 37 points. 77-114.
Okay, I've got 108 to 83. I was working off the scoreboard, so that scoreboard must be wrong.
Yeah, just missed one. Back in the middle they go. Bowman will run onto this one, give it to Brown, who barrels one upside down. It goes. Lloyd gets underneath the footy. It goes through two forwards and a defender. Williams has to now meet it and kick it off the ground. And it stays in the field of play. Then he runs it over and we'll have a boundary throw.
I can't believe you had the audacity to argue with Paul Carter.
No, I just saw the scoreboard, and that's why I thought that the margin was closer than
the goals
what it actually is.
The goals this quarter, 2 to Leongatha and Marriott and Dunn at 17, and 2 to Sale to Freeman and McClendon. It's 12.
Okay.
That makes perfect sense, really.
All right.
Yeah, it does.
So for those at the ground looking at the scoreboard, pay no attention, listen carefully to Paul Carter. As Leongatha are going to put another one on the board, unless it goes to Morwell, and then Leongatha will get a goal, but Morwell...
Bowman with a big don't argue too high.
Well, it's unlucky, really.
Yeah, I tend to agree. He's sort of trying to win the footy, wasn't he?
Yeah. So Sale in defence now.
Don't think he raised the elbow at all. Dowse kicks it out towards the wing area. Freeman pushed his player underneath it.
He did, yeah.
And Sovereign will win the free kick. On the wing area is Sovereign. The umpires have been good today, Boxer.
They have been very good. I have not a bad thing to say about them today.
Oh, say a good thing then.
They've been great. Okay. That's what I'm going to say.
So you're always looking for the negative. Sovereign kicks towards Lloyd, who just...
It's a bit unfair, Daryl. I don't think I do look for the negative out of the umpires, as long as they just umpire an even, fair game. That's all I ask them to do. And be consistent. And they have been. They've been great.
17-minute mark, final quarter, it's petering out.
Do you want to say it again? They've been great.
Sting's gone out of this game. Leongatha by 37. Fife at ground level wins it and lets it go over for a boundary throw. You got any around the ground scores, Boxer?
Not yet. I'll go now.
Fantastic. Great
Good
work.
Stuff. Well, hang on. You want me to talk about the umpires or get the scores?
Well, I can let you know three-quarter time score on the mid-Gippsland, and it is a bit of a fight back from Hill End. It is Moving North 11-7-73. Hill End at 10-4.
Wow.
64. Game on, 9 points there with a quarter to go.
And Leongatha just goal, as you talk about goals coming from Hill End, the team with the same colours, get another one to their scoreline, and they do it through Tommy Marriott, who I think from memory's kicked the last two. And Leongatha now open up that margin, Paul Carter.
They go to 18-12, 120, and it is Marriott's second goal for the quarter. They lead by 43 points over Sale, who are 12-5, 77, almost 18 minutes played.
It's three-quarter time in the Alberton League Grand Final. Not many goals. Well, I don't think any goals were kicked there in that third quarter. And it's Foster, 6-5-41. They lead Stony Creek 5-6-36.
So Lipton and Willis been even contest in the middle.
Oh, I'd give it to Willis.
Yeah, fair enough. Willis wins this one by headbutting it. Lipton, though, extra work at ground level is okay.
Is that a stat? A headbutt?
Secondary stoppage. Well, it was a hit out. Again, Lipman in the front spot. This time taps it down. Quick kick by Barnett was smothered, and now Borshman swooped on it, then barreled it towards the top of the 50. Laverty just worked his player underneath it, then gave a handball over the top to Leslie. We know he's got some wheels, but Dunn corrals nicely, so he had to handball backwards to Elizabeth Hurley, who runs to the top of the 50. Handballs out now to Leslie again, and Hurley's given away a free kick. So, unfortunately, he got rid of the football and then just dumped Jackson Harry. You saw it, Poppy?
I did, but Harry sort of instigated the contest, and unfortunately, young Hurley fell for it.
Well, Jackson Harry could do anything from here.
He folded like a pack of cards on contact.
I think the free kick was there, wasn't it?
Oh, look, it was there.
The contact was there, but he
sure.
made the most of it.
So Harry's 60 metres out. He'll kick it to the top of the square. Lloyd will go up. Can't mark. Dunn was at the back. Laverty got it. Fell to ground, though, and then was in a little bit of strife. It allowed Oldham to pick it up. Oh, kicked out of mid-air. If you don't mind, Nick Nagel. I think it's a goal. There you go. Eat your heart out. Cristiano Ronaldo. Goal, Nick Nagel.
It should have been a free kick for a throw, Scud, but the opportunist goal there by Nagel, kicked it in mid-air.
Are you criticising the umpires for the decision?
I can't, because I've just been told by about 5 people to get off the umpire's wagon, because I was never a really big advocate of him in my day and during my coaching day. So the umpires have done okay. Is that what you want me to say?
Well,
but a great goal there by
Nagel. It's
Nagel.
just pretty hard to follow the game when you're also looking at the Caulfield races.
19 minutes played in the last quarter, 49-point lead to Leongatha. They are 19-12, 126 to Sale 12-5-77, and Boxer, as a coach, considered himself an umpire's advisor, I believe. That.
I probably did. Yes.
Please gamble responsibly. With the ball that's you, Box, back in the middle.
I didn't know you could get Keno on your phone as well.
The ball's gone over the back, and young Alton
had to
go and get it.
Where's the siren? 20 minutes. Hurry up.
It's been a great day, beautiful spring day.
Yeah, it is. It's a lovely day.
Really brings out everyone out and about on a Saturday afternoon. Boxes.
Having 500 each one, the Dapto dogs, it's always a risk.
As the ball comes back to the middle, it is Lippman and Big Willis, and Lippman got his hand on this one, but Brown in the middle of the ground now wins it. Kicks it inside his forward 50 again. It bounces over the top of a couple of forwards. Leslie had to spoil it, lands in the hand of Williams. Now Hurley sweeps one out wide to Leslie, and he can take off and run. He did run a long way, got boot the ball, and then turned it over. As Kyle Cooper marked on his half-back flank, he goes lateral, short, just the required 15 to Brock Davidson.
So Brock Davidson, right half-back flank, with his side leading by a margin now. I reckon that scoreboard's out to the right score now, by the looks of it.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Thanks, Paul. That margin
cheeky.
is something like 49 points. As Sale on the left half-back flank through Thacker, try to get it through. They can't. Now it's Dyer. Oh, gee, that kick's rough as guts, isn't it? It bounced 2 or 3 times and before it fell in the hands of Dowse, and Dowse changes direction to the advantage of Fire. So some bloke, or Fife, I should say. The blokes are turning on thrippity bits and balls are bouncing rough as guts. I tell you what, chewy on your boot as they go forward from the right half-forward flank through Freeman. No, they're going to be beaten by the boundary, or are they? No, they keep it in Leongatha. They do it nicely. Experienced under pressure along the line. They went searching for, and they found in the end Jackson Harry, but he's got so much time that they're just going to walk this one from defence into attack. And the target into attack I speak of is Chris Dunn. He can't take the ball and he's under pressure because he's got to fight too, and the umpire will come in to lend a hand by balling it up.
Just a quick score in the North Gippy football. I reckon it should be nearly over there as well, and it's Yarram 18-9, 117. They lead Churchill 13-5, 83.
Well, ball up. Leongatha win at Bowman. Sweep the handball out to Brown. He's getting busy and gives it to Marriott. 40 metres out. The distance won't be any issue.
You can write this one down, Scott.
Well, it will go through post height. Well, these are pretty tall here at Morwell, so halfway up the post you would have thought. Here's a thumping kick. And
They are tall posts here, aren't they?
yeah,
That's the AFL standard.
Yeah, I was going to say they're as tall, tallest in the league. Has anyone else got AFL standard goal
One
posts?
Thaggy.
Most of
Moe?
them.
Have they?
Moe definitely has, yeah.
Has anyone not got posts AFL?
well, Marriott skips in from 45, puts it on its way. As we said, distance not a problem, and the
nice.
accuracy is not a problem either. Marriott's got 3. He's on his way to a best on-ground performance thanks to Gippsland Isuzu Ute.
Yeah, he just keeps turning over. He's an incredible player. He does it inside the midfield and he does it inside the forward 50 as well. It's his third, was it, Scud?
Correct.
So well done to Tommy Marriott and the Parrots.
And not only third, but he's third this quarter, taking Leongatha to a 55-point lead at the 23-minute mark of the final term. The Carpet Country scoreboard, Leongatha 20-12-132, Sale 12-5-77.
So Josh Hopkins kicked 4 in the first quarter and Cameron Olden kicked 3 in the second quarter, and now Tom Marriott has kicked 3 in the fourth quarter. So players having a bit influence in patches, but as a whole they're contributing beautifully, and they're going to do it again now. From centre half forward they knock it forward. A quick kick off the ground. No, he thought about it, Brown. He couldn't get a foot to it. He just wished his legs were 1 foot longer, but it doesn't matter now. Sale from the half back line through Gooch. Go towards left half forward flank. It's a one-on-one contest. Oh, almost roving it nicely. The front of the pack was Carter. He couldn't. And Cooper now from right half back flank along the line. Nice.
Oh.
Harry jumps high, takes a mark beautifully. He wants to go short. He does, but it's cut off. And it was cut off neatly too by Will Leslie.
Did well.
That's the movement that reminds me of Jake Best, if you remember.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's very spring-heeled jack type, and gets up the ground, works hard. And now he has his role as a high half forward on the ball. He takes the ruck duties actually, taps it over the back nicely to Nick Nagel. Handball back to Davidson, kicks around his body. Leslie will stand under this one and mark it. Looks to square it up. He's got on the far side, Dowse presents, decides to go further out wide to Barnett, who can mark it, come in board. He can handball to 5. No, he kicks it down the line. Dessert will have the sit and marks
Nice
it.
mark.
Yeah, you got to pay that.
Yep. It's 45 metres the mark. They're going to have to kick it. Oh, Cameron Stone has just walked 2 or 3 steps over the mark. Now the umpire pulls him back.
No, he's still got a few steps in front of him. He said to the umpire, no, he just where he marked it. So he'll come forward.
You're right.
Yep.
He's gained a long, long way. And Geordie Destin had to kick it from 50, and that was well done by the Leongatha defender. In the end, it was just kicked short. Otherwise, he would have made the distance.
Well, Descent marked it in the forward 50 and ended up kicking for goal from full back.
Minor score on the Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland scoreboard.
Sale now 12-678 to Leongatha 20-12-132.
Scode, we have a final score in the second semi-final in East Gippsland. Lindeno 9-8-62. They went down to Boysdale Borregalong 15-10-100.
So they go straight through the grand final in that league. The loser to take on Wyong next week. The ball at the right half forward flank to be thrown back in. Sale into attack. They are trailing by a big margin now, 54 points. Littman, in fact, Gooch takes the ball over the top, finds his teammate in Douse to the top of the square. Can they find a winner here? They can't. Punched out through the legs. It was tunnel ball like. You're out, and Leongatha are out as well. Grandstand side, the lead is on by Lloyd. Takes a mark, can play on. And he's got a bit of time to find Ganane. Well, Ganane stuck the hands out. I thought he was pushed in the back. Well, I didn't think he was. He definitely was. The umpire must have been in a awkward position to tell. And now Sale through Williams. Go towards the outer side. Good contest, one-on-one. Fife, not Fire, was beaten to the ball. And there'll be a boundary throw in. Outer side of the ground, centre wing.
Don't sugarcoat it, Poppy. The umpire was right in front of that. Okay, so...
Another go on the umpires.
There we go.
A couple of texts from your mate Moons, and all of a sudden you're back on them.
Yeah, Jared Freeman just got a little nick in the scalp area and has come from the ground with the blood rule. So the ball will come back into the field of play. 27 minutes gone, 54-point margin. It's been Leongatha's day this afternoon. They set it up with 14 goals in the first half and have continued on, albeit Sale have put up a bit of a fight in that third quarter. They go forward again to the Magpies. The ball gets out the back and picking it up nicely back there. Gives it to the big ruckman. Littman's shot on goal was smothered. And again, Marriott on the last line gave it to Stone. They're running out of half-back. Sovereign has it, delivers out towards Borshman, who can mark going to ground just inside the field of play. And Leongatha have been super impressive this afternoon. They kick it towards the wing area. Ganane is the target. He can mark and wheel and go. Gets it towards half forward. Brock Davidson was there. Over the top was Williams. He kept his feet at ground level. Martin comes in to help now for the Magpies. Handballs over the back to McGuinness. And he squares the kick out wide to Douse.
So Douse will walk himself back into defensive 50, but kick the ball short. Finds a teammate ever so easily in Laverty. Laverty in the corridor finds a teammate or went searching for one. Couldn't find his mate in Bowen. And so now Leongatha. Gee, they do that easily, don't they? Davidson finds the big fella there in Lloyd. And Lloyd, he hasn't bothered the scorer today. Although, near on 10 of his mates have. So let's see if he can make another goal, make the goal kicking list.
I think they'll be just happy to see him get through a game of football. I think he'll be much better for the run next week.
So if he kicks this, he becomes the 10th goal scorer for Leongatha today, but he missed it to the left. That's 8 attempts, and I've lost all 8.
2013, 133. Leongatha to Sale, 12-678. Almost 29 minutes played, just about the longest quarter of the day.
Yeah, and we haven't had as many goals as what we had in the first either, so a few stoppages, but 29 minutes, final quarter, siren imminent. It comes in and over the top of Barnett's head, and we'll have a boundary throw in. And on cue. The siren was imminent, and Leongatha are through to a second semi-final. We've got a couple of injury concerns to Baboon and, of course, Cade Maskell, their star forward, one of their key backs. But today it was their day. 20 goals, 13 Leongatha, 133. And they had 15 at half-time. Sale, 12-6-78. They've got a few injury concerns as well. They're going to back it up next week in the first semi-final. Of course, they'll play tomorrow. The winner of tomorrow's game, that being Moe or Druin. A big Saturday afternoon it was, and it was the Parrots goal scorers this afternoon for Leongatha. Well, they were in big clumps. Hopkins getting 4, and 3 goals then to Marriott, Nick Nagel, Chrissy Dunn, and Cameron Olden. And then singles to Jackson Harry, Brock Davidson, Cade Maskell, and Cameron Stone. While for Sale, 3 goals to Reece Carter, and then 2 goals to Geordie Descent, Declan Barnett, Jack McClendon, and singles to Gooch, Williams,